Terus gunakan Royal Champion ability sekarang ni. Rocket Loon ditambah di kawasan Ricochet Cannon. Superbug cuba untuk funnel ataupun clean up di kawasan kanan. Dan try hard dia dapatkan 3 bintang dalam masa kurang daripada 1 minit setengah ataupun lebih 1 saat. Lebih 1 saat untuk try hard di situ. Nice try daripada try hard. Jadi untuk MMG 1 minit 31 saat. Kemantapan, selamat datang semua. Nak ingat step ni, nak ingat step. Kenapa kena ingat step? Yang di YT apa khabar? Selamat datang. Rasa macam tak ramai tengok malam ni kan sebab ada bola malam ni. Select apa tu? Select labang kita orang rindu. Saya pula yang kena. Sedap salah lah hal ni. Waalaikumsalam, selamat datang. TT apa khabar? Live TT ke? Dua-dua saya live ni so. Katalah. Selamat datang. Waalaikumsalam, selamat datang. Sekejap saya nak try minta logo ni dia tak.
Yes, that is 100% correct as we're getting already slowly for the next attack, which has to be Dizzy Esports. They have to follow up now on the attack of Milisim, which we have just seen, and it looks like another Rage Vial and the Gauntlet equipment. Or the Archikun, I feel like the most common combination of a...
Tak apalah, tengok sini boleh zoom ke dekat. Wish. Mantap. Ya, sekarang kita ada Yueta untuk Dizzy. Tak silap saya Dizzy daripada China Dizzy daripada China. Jadi kita ada base dengan kemasukan Road Rider daripada Yueta. Royal Champion ke sebelah kanan? Oh tidak, Sis Barrack sebenarnya. PK dia gunakan terapakan King. Dengan adanya Royal Champion di belakang PK untuk membantu dapatkan defensif yang ada. Dan beliau gunakan Overgrowth di kawasan Town Hall. Jadi Queen akan makan masa untuk dapatkan isi Castle dan beberapa building di kawasan tengah. Mampukah Queen survive dapatkan Town Hall? Dia ada free spell, tapi Queen sekarang sedang berada di kawasan tengah-tengah di antara defensif, di mana beliau letakkan Overgrowth untuk menghilangkan Town Hall dan juga bangunan yang lain. Itu dia, Poison telah boleh campak. Queen telah boleh gunakan, tapi Poison untuk Queen sekarang ni. Free spell telah boleh gunakan lagi sekali untuk Monolith. Cuba selamatkan Queen. Adakah Queen akan survive? Beliau masih ada banyak lagi troop dan 3 bintang kemantapan untuk Yueta. Dengan 1 minit 28 saat saja lebih kurang. Mantap sekali. Dia guna tab ke? Ada yang guna tablet, ada yang guna handphone. Ikutlah pada orang tu. Group stage ke? Yang ni dah start knockout round rasanya. Bukan lagi group stage. Malaysia ada lawan ke? Tak ada. Sekarang kita ada Timper untuk MMG.
Those types of bases that we've seen so many times before, where it can make the Root Riders go all over the place. But here we go, Temper is up with.
Jadi Timper menggunakan Lalo, Zap Lalo yang digunakan oleh Timper.
Using the Zap Lalo on this arm, like on this base, we know Zap Lalo can be strong, but for sure one of the hardest strategies, not only to get 3 stars, but as well to be that.
Jadi kita akan lihat serangan lalu daripada Timper mulakan hero di kawasan bawah dengan bantuan Ice Golem di situ. Jadi KB telah boleh gunakan iaitu Giant Gauntlet. Tidak ada penggunaan
As here comes the hound from the right side to move around with that warden now.
Tidak ada penggunaan apa ni, yang baru tu apa nama dia, spiky ball. Ya, jadi itu dia. Lalu terus dimasukkan daripada kawasan kanan, sementara Queen berada di kawasan kiri sekarang ni. Royal Champion telah pun digunakan ability Race Bell untuk Better Blim. Yeti Blim digunakan lagi, lalu dimasukkan di kawasan atas. Haze Spell pada rajam 12. Freeze di kawasan tengah sekarang ini untuk buka Eagle. Dan itu dia 3 bintang kemantapan untuk Timper dengan masa 1 minit. Adakah 20 saat ataupun lagi pantas serangan tadi? Setakat ini lagi pantas serangan tadi, dan beliau sedikit lewat, saya boleh katakan, Timper. Adakah ini Timper yang champion tahun lepas ke Timper lain? Oh, ni Timper lain ni. Ini rasanya Timper lain ni, bukan Timper champion tahun lepas ni. Champion dah naik juara. Jadi ke Timper yang tu tak lah, aku pun jam 1 minit 30 saat. Oh, sayangnya. Sayangnya. By the way guys, korang boleh login dekat Supercell punya laman web, iaitu apa ni nama dia, saya pun lupa dah. Dia tu bang, dia mantap lah. Saya ingatkan Timper baru. Apa tak lama laman web dia. Event.supercell.com. Event event.supercell.com, and then korang pergi kat bahagian SOC. Korang login sekarang ni untuk prediction. Okay, supaya korang boleh dapat reward. Okay, untuk hari ni dengan esok punya prediction. So korang prepare guys. Saya punya ni asal malah tu aku nak register kat handphone. Alright, ID lain tu. Okay. Tak ingat muka dia. Jangan tengok muka dia. Dan sekarang ni kita ada spam Road Rider lagi daripada Kai. Bukan Kai Harvard tapi Kai. Okay, ni Kai Chinese version punya. Jadi sekarang ni beliau gunakan overgrowth di kawasan tengah untuk menghilangkan Town Hall, Poison Tower dan juga Monolith di situ. Dan sekarang ni Sis Berat sedang membuat funnel di kawasan kanan. Beliau ada King yang telah pun mati saya rasa. King ni mana tak nampak dah. Race Spell sekarang ni beliau ada satu lagi Race Spell dan satu Free Spell untuk digunakan. Jadi beliau freeze Town Hall dan juga Poison Tower. Beliau ada Monolith untuk dimusnahkan oleh Royal Champion. Race Spell lepaskan di situ. Queen kena Poison Town Hall, tapi Queen akan dibantu oleh Royal Champion dan 3 bintang. Tetapi tidak ada tetapi. Cumanya Kai seperti tidak berpuas hati dengan 3 bintang dia. Kecepuk kan baru tahu. 3 bintang dengan masih cukup pantas tu pun tak celebrate. Oh, siut lah. Siut lah guys. Tak celebrate. Oh, siut lah. Format macam mana World Tour ni? Macam biasa lah, 8 tim yang ada dekat sekarang ni, diorang akan lawan lah. Sorry lah, jawab macam tadi je kan. Dia 8 tim, double elimination. Okay, itu dia. Format macam biasa lah, double elimination. Cuma yang ni bila dah sampai dekat sini ni, dia punya qualifier tu dah panggil stage berapa tah? Stage ke-5 lebih kurang tu. Tahun dah rata dekat wah dah biasa dah. Kena fikir tukar-tukar base level pun sama. Ya betul. Jadi untuk tournament sekarang ni kita tidak melihat siapakah yang akan fail untuk 3 bintang, tapi kita akan tengok siapakah yang akan fail untuk rata dalam masa seminit setengah. Bukan 2 minit, seminit setengah. Lebih pada seminit setengah tu dikira lewat. Serius tak tipu. Jadi free sekarang ni untuk Town Hall. Dan Nachua, nampaknya kamera beliau tidak ada. Diharapkan tidak ada masalah dengan dia punya peraturan ataupun apa-apa sahaja yang melibatkan dengan peraturan. Di mana bulan lepas kita ada masalah dengan tim daripada Synchronic yang mempunyai masalah kamera. Jadi mereka dikira DQ untuk satu match dan diturunkan ke lower bracket, tapi mereka tetap berjaya dapatkan golden ticket pertama. Tapi sekarang ni Nachua pada dalam bahaya. Adakah 9 untuk beliau? Nampak gaya macam ya sahaja kerana Mountain Flow masih lagi ada di situ. Dan King Harlan berjaya untuk mempertahankan base itu dengan menjadi air defense yang terakhir untuk DZ Esport. Timpa juga buat rekod challenge 50k jam tu. Ada je nama dia. Pro player wah, yang main apa ni, main challenge halan tu dapat apa ni top 1 tu memang OP lah. Tobat OP gila. It's not easy lah guys. Tobat is not easy. Ini yang di impossible final dia pun aku tak rata lagi. Sabuk kepala ni. Macam mana lah diorang boleh kata. Walaupun dekat YouTube ada je yang upload data kan. Ada je banyak creator yang upload data, tapi tu dah malas. Apa nama web? Abang tulis event.supercell.com. Nanti ada 3 game dia keluar. Lepas tu tekan yang COC punya. Tapi sekarang lah, tak tahulah aku punya problem ke ataupun phone aku gila ni. Dia macam bug. 0 point power end dia. Okay, kita ada sekarang ni King, Queen, Warden dan juga RC dengan ability yang biasa digunakan. Jadi setakat ni kita boleh nampak meta yang digunakan oleh pro player dalam tournament adalah box base tapi dengan sedikit orang kata bentuk-bentuk longkang yang digunakan untuk membuatkan road rider akan menjadi biol di situ. Tetapi kita boleh tahu 3 bintang tak mudah untuk diikuti oleh mereka ini. Cumanya masa sahaja yang menjadi musuh pemain-pemain COC sekarang ini. Jadi DZ Sport, mereka berada di satu tempat yang sama. Kita boleh nampak di situ di mana Chen mempunyai rakan di sebelahnya. Dan saya rasa itu adalah clanmate beliau ataupun rakan sepasukan. Itu dia bantuan daripada Chen ataupun daripada kawan Chen untuk memastikan 3 bintang dengan masa di bawah 1 minit setengah untuk didapatkan oleh Chen. Jadi itu dia, mantap sekali. Laju diorang ratakan base tangan jari sotong diorang ni. Diorang bukan jari sotong ni, ini jari jiran pun diorang pakai. Kalah ni siapa yang kalah? Siapakah yang kalah? MU ke MC? Tengok sekejap, adakah MC dah skor? KMU tiba-tiba skor. Tak ada skor lagi. Dunuk pula MC ni. Main apa tak skor lagi? Pegang bola je. Orang main bola nak gol, bukan nak pegang bola. Aduh mak. Aduh, lemah lah MC ni. Kata champion. Waalaikumsalam, selamat datang. Apa khabar guys? Kingsman sekarang ni untuk MMG dengan Road Rider Queen Charge yang dibawa oleh beliau. Terus gunakan King Ability untuk mengamuk di kawasan dalam. Dengan keluarnya Archer daripada Clan Castle, tidak menjadi masalah untuk Kingsman mendapatkan isi ke Castle. Tetapi mungkin King sedikit memakan masa untuk mencakar wall untuk dapatkan Archer yang berada di belakang Clan Castle tersebut, saya rasa. Jadi sekarang ini kita akan lihat Queen masuk di kawasan dalam untuk dapatkan Queen defensif.
even reach that town hall
Tengah sengsara 2 base terakhir event. Mantap, sama-samalah kita sengsara. Tapi yang
because most of the tags are
yang nombor 11 senang je. Nombor 12 susah. Saya tak buat lagi. Alah nak main nombor 11. Nombor 12 tu. Jadi sisi berat di kawasan kanan sekarang ni dah Road Rider terus dimasukkan daripada kawasan jam 5. MU kalah. Tak ada gol lagi ni. Kita mana nak MU kalah kan, biasalah fan Liverpool. Tapi tak gol lagi ni. Walau apa-apa pun, kita lihat di depan mata kita sekarang ini, di mana Kingsman telah menggunakan wide ability untuk menyelamatkan rider beliau yang masuk di kawasan dalam sekarang ini. Dengan baki 2 free spam untuk digunakan. Dan itu dia support barrier dilepaskan di kawasan belakang base untuk dapatkan beberapa bidding yang tinggal. Dan juga di kawasan bawah, 1 minit 20 saat tinggal untuk Kingsman. Nampaknya beliau memakan masa yang lama untuk menyerang base ini. Dan nampak wajah beliau tidak begitu gembira kerana masa yang diambil oleh beliau sangat banyak sebenarnya. Adakah lebih pada 2 minit? Saya rasa yes, lebih pada 2 minit untuk Kingsman dapatkan 3 bintang di sini. Jadi bahaya untuk MMG. Haaland hat-trick malam ni bang. Hui, kalau Haaland hat-trick mana tahu ada special reward lagi ke kan. Jadi sekarang ni kita ada Den dia attack. Dia ni botak guys. Den. As you can see guys, di kamera Den, mereka berada di satu tempat yang sama untuk cuba merebut golden ticket. Jadi mereka bukanlah tim ayam-ayam di mana duduk di depan PC yang bermodalkan webcam seperti saya ini untuk cuba dapatkan golden ticket, tapi mereka bersungguh-sungguh untuk berada di satu tempat untuk dapatkan golden ticket yang kedua untuk World Championship tahun ini. Jadi beliau menyepam Road Rider daripada satu arah seperti BBNU yang main COC seperti saya, hanya menyepam sampai mampus. Kerana itulah meta COC sekarang ni yang sudah rosak. Walaupun saya harapkan meta ini akan berubah, tapi sudah hampir separuh tahun tidak diubahkan apa-apa. Jadi itulah dia meta spam menyepam. Mudah untuk diratakan oleh Den dengan masih ada King Queen ability. Dengan 3 free spell untuk digunakan, PK dapat satu skeleton, iaitu lari. Dan itu dia truk beliau. Sedang baca doa kot, ataupun tak sebenarnya. Dan spiky ball digunakan oleh beliau untuk 3 bintang kemantapan Den. Tapi masa yang diambil oleh beliau sedikit banyak, saya boleh katakan. Sedikit banyak. 3 bintang, tetap 3 bintang, tetapi ya, sedikit spoil dari segi masa. Minit 50 saat menyepam yes, menyepam. Itulah game rosak ni. Alamak, aku nak cari attack pun tak boleh. Aku ni betul ni rosak pun. Siapa menang? Habis pun tak lagi bang. Tengok dulu sampai habis. Ni sampai saya juluk abang punya king lagi. Juluk dengan batang apa ni, batang warden tu. Batang apa tu orang panggil? Tengok pada skin lah kan. Kadang-kadang ada batang pisang, batang kelapa, batang penyapu pada kadang. Tengok sampai habis. Habis pun tak lagi ni. Kau jangan marah ni. Lagi kita ada Hawk sekarang ni dengan Queen Charge Road Rider. Lagi berapa? Tengok lu. Satu team 5 orang. Jadi ini adalah serangan ke-5. So lagi 2 attack nak habis first match ni. Alright. Dan Flame Flinger digunakan di bahagian kanan selepas funneling yang dilakukan oleh beliau. Dan sekarang ni poison dilepaskan untuk membekukan ataupun mendapatkan Ice Golem. Adakah Spore Breaker kena lepaskan oleh beliau? Setakat ni belum lagi kerana masih ada Esbo di kawasan kanan. Oh, nampaknya King berada di kawasan Queen. King tolong keluar. King tolong pergi kawasan bawah. King rosak. Tapi Overbreaker sekarang ni akan masukkan King dan Queen ke dalam. Dan Root Rider dia masuk ke dalam bawah sekarang ni untuk Hawk. Adakah Hawk akan dapatkan 3 bintang? Terus gunakan King ability. Healer masih belum transform ke arah King. Race pada digunakan untuk membantu King dan juga Queen sekarang di kawasan tengah. Dan Flame Flinger akan memburu scatter shot selepas ini. Race spell untuk Root Rider dan juga terus gunakan Ward ability di kawasan kiri base. Satu race spell lagi tinggal dan satu free spell untuk digunakan oleh beliau. Ada Tesla Farm di kawasan kiri di mana mengganggu Root Rider dan Royal Champion beliau. Keluar 10 minion daripada Flame Flinger untuk dapatkan scatter shot sekarang ini. Seminit lagi tinggal untuk Hawk. Sudah pasti ini adalah serangan yang sangat-sangat perlahan untuk beliau. Tapi 3 bintang diperlukan oleh Hawk sekarang ni. Walau bagaimanapun rasanya MMG mungkin akan kalah jika DZ dapatkan 3 bintang selepas ini. 39 saat. Jadi 3 bintang mudah untuk Hawk, tetapi masa sangat-sangat lama sebenarnya. Dan akan menambahkan lagi purata masa untuk MMG. Seperti anda boleh lihat di skrin anda di belah kanan, 2 minit 32 saat. Wow, lamanya. UIT apa khabar? Selamat datang. DDT apa khabar? Selamat datang. Kita akan ada serangan terakhir daripada DZ, iaitu Jaga. DZ buat serangan ni. Jaga guys. Itu dia Jaga dengan base yang perlu diada oleh beliau, iaitu base pulau box pulau memulau. Itu adalah base yang digunakan oleh Kingsman, di mana base ini akan mengelirukan Root Rider mungkin, tapi bukan invis spell yang digunakan di kawasan tengah. Dia gunakan poison spell, tapi dimulakan Queen di kawasan kanan dan Sis Barret pada arah jam 12. Okey. Dan terus dimulakan spam Root Rider daripada kawasan kiri base dengan Valkyrie di situ. Adakah King kena lepaskan di kawasan jam 6? Yep, kolom King di situ. Jadi funneling yang dilakukan oleh Jaga sebenarnya. Wallbreaker tidak ada untuk King. Jadi saya tidak pasti adakah King beliau akan digunakan untuk masuk di kawasan Royal Chamber ataupun tidak. Jadi Overgrowth telah boleh lepaskan di kawasan Town Hall dengan Queen ability digunakan. Beliau ada satu lagi Overgrowth spell, mungkin kena lepaskan di tempat yang sama selepas ini. Digunakan race spell beliau di kawasan Scatter Shot. Dan juga King ability untuk dapatkan Royal Champion Defensive. Dan sebab untuk mendapatkan cannon tersebut, Overgrowth lagi sekali. Jadi beliau akan dapatkan 3 bintang yang akan melayakkan DZ ke pusingan seterusnya. Walaupun serangan beliau sedikit makan masa. Jadi ya, terus lepaskan Skeleton Spell untuk keluarkan awal-awal Skeleton untuk menarik perhatian defensif yang ada. Terus gunakan Royal Champion ability Dan itu dia DZ Esport daripada China. Dia dapatkan 3 bintang dan juga layak ke pusingan seterusnya dalam Qualifier bulan Mei untuk World Championship 2024. Tengok live kat mana ni? Kat sini. Buat nampak mukanya kat TikTok tak ada facecam. Malu sikit. Saya kemaluan kat TikTok. Sorry lah ya. Minit 47 saat. Tapi tak mengapa. Tidak mengapa. Nice, mantap. Jadi kita tengok match terusnya selepas ini. Jadi MMG kalah untuk pusingan pertama. Tapi serangan Denden ni kita nampak di mana spiky ball digunakan oleh Denden. Live kat mana ni? Kat sini bang, kat sini saya live ni. Sejak bila Sunil ni caster COC? Sunil? Mana pula Sunil? Mana pula Sunil? Dia senyum sini je. Tak tahu dah tak puas hati dengan attack dia ke apa ke. Baru ke ni? Ya, live ni, live ni. Ni bukan recording apa ni, live ni, live ni. Jadi lawanan seterusnya tak pasti apa. Sebab saya tak tengok jadual dia. Nampak nak tengok tadi. Kita tunggu je lah lepas ni apa lawan apa. Sementara tu yang mana belum subscribe, tekan butang subscribe Yang mana belum follow, tekan butang follow guys. Jadi kita nampak di mana DZ Sport menang dengan 15-14. Dan Kingsman tidak berjaya carry MMG. Rasanya dia dengan try hard sahaja, ahli lama daripada MMG yang masih lagi dengan MMG sekarang ni. Tapi tak silap saya, DZ Esport ni nama tim dia tahun lepas Boom Academy, bukan Boom Academy, Fuching ataupun lagi satu, apa tak nama dia, saya tak ingat lah. Jadi jaga menjadi MVP untuk DZ. Sementara menunggu makan lu. Yang mana ada makanan tu selamat makan lah ya. Yang mana tak ada tu makan lagi je lah guys. Makan juga kan. Jadi ya, lebih kurang 5 minit lagi dan Woody kembali bersama dengan Suksi. Tahun lepas punya World Championship dia tak datang sebab dia tak sihat. Tapi kali ni dia kembali. Woody is back. Masih baiklah korang tengok custom Melayu. Korang tengok yang English punya, bersiap sedia lah dengan korang punya speaker dan lain-lain. Cara dia cast tu okey, cuma suara dia tu geram sikit perangai dia, tiba-tiba menjerit. Tapi dengan meta sekarang ni aku rasa lagi pelik lah kalau dengar dia menjerit kan. Sebab meta sekarang ni ataupun tournament SOC sekarang ni macam tak ada apa benda nak dijerit kan. Tak ada apa benda yang rasa surprising, yang rasa apa ni, amazing, yang boleh membuatkan aku impress. Aku rasa lah dia just maybe entah, kalau dia fail tu Yang time tu je lah mengejutnya. Judo tak ada ke? Judo demam tak pastilah. Tu ada jiran judo bagi tahu judo demam tu. Yelah kot kan. Member jiran dengan judo tak boleh buat apa lah. Dengar je lah, saya jangan. Jadi guys, yang mana belum follow, bantu-bantu follow guys Saya perlukan sokongan korang. Jadi ini dia bracket. Seperti anda boleh lihat, selepas ni kita akan lihat Savage Elite lawan dengan HTM Esport. Oh, nampaknya saya salah dari segi format Dan kita ada 6 tim sahaja yang main. Dan kita ada Elite Attacks di round 2 dan juga VM Legacy. So 6 tim yang main dan 2 tim yang telah pun menunggu di round 2. Tapi double elimination tetap berlaku. Okay. Jadi MMG akan tunggu di lower bracket round 1. Akan lihat sama ada Elite Attacks ataupun DC Esport yang kalah dalam round tu nanti. Jadi match terusnya Savage Elite dan juga HTM. Nama-nama tim baru di sini Last challenge Halan dapat apa star? 1 tak dapat lagi. Bila start first match, baru je habis first match. Dizzy menang. Lepas ni second match. Kita ada apa tu, SE lawan dengan HTM. Okay. Nama tim pun dah lain dah. Mana Navi? Mana apa ni? Apa nama tim merah-merah tu? Track Gaming pun tak ada. Bayangkan. Payahlah challenge halang kosong truk. Tutorial yang ni pun saya tak up lagi sebab saya tak dapat 3 bintang. Abang minta kosong truk. Boleh bang, kosong truk, kosong star lah. Easy je kan. Abang minta kosong truk kan, tak minta pun kosong apa ni, 3 star ke 2 star ke. Aja boleh je. Tapi jadi supporter kan. Abang saya baru tahu apa jadi kan. Siapa pula tu? Saya tak tahu. Siapa tu? Orang penting ke? Kalau orang tak penting saya tak tahu. Aduh, DOG COC. Siapa tu ni Ketin? Tak pernah dengar nama dia. Dia content creator ke pro player? Never heard their name. Pernah dengar apa nama dia? Orang sebut pun tak pernah dengar lagi. Orang Malaysia ke orang mana tu? Content creator. Tak pernah dengar nama dia tu. Tobat tak pernah dengar. Luar. Orang putih lah. Apa jadi kat dia? Tadi HTM ni dia. Oh, Rico Torres. Ini bukan logo HTM, nampak macam Itali punya design sebab nampak hijau, putih, merah. Oi, Savage Elite. Ini aku cakap. Ini aku cakap guys. Savage Elite ni orang yang sama tahun lepas. Satu tim yang sama. Tapi dia ada tapi dia. Tapi nama tim bertukar-tukar amat daripada start keluar tahun 16. Anarkia lah. Apa lagi? Ada lagi banyak lagi nama dia pakai. Ini Savage Elite pula sekarang ni. Entah macam-macam nama dia pakainya. Aduh yai. Ini tak silap saya bulan lepas punya ni. Highlight. Ini free agent. Bulan lepas dia pakai nama lain, free agent punya team. Bulan ni kau tukar nama team. What the fish. Diorang tengah cari nama yang sedap. Orang kalau masuk tournament pakai tu nama je. Tak pernah lah pula ada pakai 3-4 nama. Sebelum ni tak silap aku world class ke apa, ke world player ke apa benda lah. Ke all star. All star nama tim dorang. Ada juga dekat community tournament orang pakai nama tu. Sekarang saya habis silik pula. Aduh. Aku tak boleh belah dengan orang Brazil ni. Aduh. Diorang ni memang OG. Baru rare tukar-tukar. Lain macam tu. Sebut pasal tukar-tukar ni, MC tak gol lagi ke? Uish. Uish. Unbelievable. Uish. Uish. Tu dah MC pegang bola lagi. Aku dah kata main bola pegang, bukan pegang bola, main bola dapatkan gol. Bongok punya MC. Shot target pun tak ada, shooting pun tak ada. Ish. Peganglah bola kau sampai habis game. Pegang bola. Orang nak pegang piala, dia nak pegang bola. Aduh, Pep. Sponsor kau masuk ke? Tak tahulah. Rasanya nama tim yang dia pegang sebelum ni pun bukan nama tim sponsor. Nama tim dia orang sendiri. Tak boleh pakai lah MC guys. Aduh mah, dapat IPL merasuah ni. Aku rasa Foden boleh tu golkan second half tu. Jadi kita ada Woody Eric untuk second match. Jadi agak-agak kurang siapa menang guys. Adakah SE menang ataupun STM? Jadi kita akan nampak Nick daripada STM. Nama tim baru. Rupanya player lama. Baru tahu. Aku ingat kan nama tim baru, orang baru yang masuk. Maklumlah meta dah bertukar kan, meta spam. Jadi bila meta spam ni boleh dikatakan open untuk everyone dah, untuk layak ke qualifier kan. Sebab meta mudah. Cuma ni nak konsisten dan juga orang kata ada ilmu lah untuk counter the defense. Guys yang datang di YT, siapa yang ada tu tolong komen. Nak tahu kat siapa. Shelby, alhamdulillah, thank you for give, thank you for support. Kita ada Nick sekarang ni yang menggunakan naga dengan close spell yang akan digunakan di kawasan tengah sekarang ni untuk dapatkan defensif. Oh, tak dapat scatter shot. Namun dapat mengaktifkan raise spell tower di kawasan atas. Kurang-kurangnya akan memudahkan dia punya hero saya rasa nanti, iaitu Royal Champion, dengan baki 2 lagi free spell untuk digunakan. Ish, thank you for give, alhamdulillah. Favorite team apa Liverpool. Jadi King digunakan di kawasan atas sekarang ni, masuk dengan ability-nya Giant Gauntlet, di mana Haaland menanduk dan menendang bola. Patutlah MC tak gol lagi. Haaland tengah main suksi. Aduh mak. Jangan pakai skin Haaland oi. Nanti MU menang. Sibuk pakai skin Haaland. Orang nak MU kalah ni. Chelsea bang, Chelsea sekarang ni tak ada favourite lah. Sekarang ni tak ada favourite lah. Saya lalang je sekarang ni. Sebab dah semua macam tak tahu. Semua guna meta sama, tak nampak mana skill asal ni. Tapi kalau pergi tengok apa ni, creative tournament tu, mungkin akan nampak lah perbezaan dia. Cuma sekarang ni saya dah lama tak tengok sangat. Tak sampai 2 minit bye. Memang itu meta sekarang. Siapa yang attack lebih pada 1.5 minit dikira noob. Simple. Dikira noob. Siapa attack 1 minit lebih pada 1.5 minit dikira noob. Okey, tu dia Giant Hero digunakan oleh Pato untuk mendapatkan funneling value defensif di kawasan bawah. Jadi dia melepaskan Road Rider untuk fokus ke bahagian tengah dengan si Barrett yang membuat funnel di kawasan atas sekarang ni. King masuk di depan Queen. Adakah King masuk ke dalam? Dipanggil oleh Queen defensif sekarang ni. Dan poin yang dilepaskan untuk Archer yang keluar daripada Clan Castle. Seperti anda nampak base jadi digunakan oleh Pato ataupun Nick sebenarnya, iaitu base box base yang ada longkang-longkang di situ. Oh, Royal Champion cuba dapatkan Royal Champion defensif sekarang ini. Dia ada 1 jump spell dan 2 race spell tidak digunakan. Nampaknya overgrowth akan habis tak lama lagi. Jadi Warden berada dalam bahaya sekarang ini. 10 minit keluar daripada Siege Barrack. Itu dia, overgrowth telah pun habis. Warden akan diserang oleh scatter shot dan juga ricochet cannon. Namun dibiarkan saja Warden mati. Dan juga mini Warden. Race spell dilepaskan untuk Rider. Jump spell dimasukkan untuk membantu King di situ, tapi tidak begitu berfunction. Royal Champion telah pun mati. Oh, spell telah pun habis. Adakah Pato akan dapatkan 3 bintang di sini? Pato dalam bahaya. King ability ataupun King dihidupkan semula oleh Phoenix. Dan sekarang ni Pato nampak muka seperti stres. Dan King tak boleh dapatkan Town Hall dan 1 bintang untuk Pato. Dan base yang digunakan oleh Nick sangat kemantapan di sini untuk pertahankan serangan daripada Pato. Daripada dia dapatkan 3 bintang untuk Savage Elite. Wow. Wow, nampaknya kesilapan daripada Pato. Makan diri beliau dengan 1 bintang 97% di sini. Di HTM mempunyai base design yang agak menyeramkan di serangan pertama ini. Adakah Savage Elite akan kekal tercedok selepas ini? Kita akan lihat. Jadi selamat datang yang baru masuk, apa khabar? Dan kita ada Muhammad Marawi di sini. Sayang member overconfident sangat. Tak boleh buat apa lah. Duk simpan spare race lama-lama. Duk dia duk congik slow. Isyam member. Itu dia Muhammad Marawi memayung dia punya dada dengan penuh sadar di situ. Hampir full itulah tu. Jadi Muhammad Marawi menggunakan Road Rider dan juga Valkyrie yang dimasukkan di kawasan lebih kurang jam 5.30. Sementara Siege Barrack dan juga Royal Champion berada di kawasan atas. Overgrowth sekarang ni untuk Town Hall. Jadi Royal Champion ataupun sebenarnya Road Rider akan fokus ke bahagian bawah dahulu, mana Road Rider kejar oleh King. Tapi sekarang ni Skeleton akan mengganggu King defensif. Pecahkan lava hound di kawasan tengah. Adakah Muhammad Marawi akan tercedok juga? Terus digunakan Royal Champion ability di kawasan atas. Nampaknya overgrowth akan habis dalam beberapa saat lagi. Tapi Rage Spell Tower akan membahayakan beliau punya trup. Walau bagaimanapun beliau ada free spell, beliau ada rage spell, beliau ada scatter spell untuk digunakan. Jadi 3 bintang kemantapan untuk Muhammad Marawi dengan masa yang masih lagi banyak, iaitu 1 minit 40 saat. Dan itu dia, mantap sekali serangan 1 minit 20 saat daripada Muhammad Marawi. Wow. Wow, mantap sekali. 1 minit 20 saat. Nampaknya penggunaan overgrowth spell di pertengahan serangan, dalam setiap serangan kita boleh kata agak meta dan dapat menghasilkan masa yang singkat untuk pemain-pemain dapatkan 3 bintang. Mantap Pak Abu. Pak Abu main SOC memang kemantapan. Nama titik, thank you for the rose. Jadi kita ada Leo sekarang ni untuk Savage Elite dengan topi sudu yang dipakai oleh beliau. Oh, aku tak boleh main SOC dengan tablet macam tu guys. Aku kena ada satu stand yang menyerongkan iPad ataupun tablet. Tak boleh tengok skrin macam tu guys. Menapak, memancar ke bahagian atas. Kepala aku sakit tengok macam tu. Dia boleh je attack macam tu. Gila-gila lah Leo ni. Walau bagaimanapun Leo telah menggunakan Jairo untuk Queen. Clap Kun, thank you for the rose. Alhamdulillah. Oh, Tesla di kawasan bawah dikejutkan dengan pelepasan Siege Barrack beliau. Jadi sedikit wizard sahaja keluar di situ, nampak gayanya. Race spare di kawasan tengah sekarang ni. Tidak ada overgrowth spare digunakan oleh Leo, tapi terletak di kawasan kanan. Oh, nampaknya HTM Esport mempunyai base design yang sangat kemantapan buat masa ini. Free spell untuk Ice Golem, terus digunakan poison spell. Adakah Royal Champion akan dimasukkan ataupun telah pun sebenarnya dimasukkan di kawasan kanan? Yep, saya nak kata sebenarnya Road Rider untuk dapatkan Town Hall, Warden untuk membantu di situ untuk dapatkan Town Hall. Dan sekarang ni King dapatkan scatter shot. Dengan scatter spell telah boleh lepaskan di kawasan kiri. Masa yang masih lagi banyak ada untuk Biao. Lebih kurang 15 saat lagi untuk cuba mendapatkan rata dengan masa singkat. King cuba dapatkan Clan Castle dibantu oleh 10 minion. 10 saat lagi tinggal. Dapat rata dalam masa 1 minit setengah. Beliau dapat, jadi mantap sekali. Leo 3 bintang mudah oleh beliau. Susah nak cakap cara dua attack, macam tak masuk akal. Untuk meta sekarang ni dia lebih open. Dia lebih, orang kata, asal muka macam Picastro ke memang ni Leo? Dia lebih apa ni, dia kena open lah. Sebab meta sekarang ni dia kena laju. Dia kena, sebab sekarang ni truk kuat tau. Truk kuat, hero kuat. Bukan truk lah kuat, hero kuat. Jadi kau kena pelbagaikan cara masuk untuk dapatkan 3 bintang yang dengan pantas. Leo hadir, thank you semua support. Kamu tu Layo bukan Leo. Layo dengan Leo lain. Jangan perasan boleh tak? Kamu main COC pun pakai Naga Biru, itu pun dapat 1 bintang. Naga Biru tak pandang Town Hall. Mengaku Leo. Geli lah. Kantoi aib dia. Sorry. Tolong maafkan saya kerana membuka aibmu. Jadi kita ada poison spell daripada Ghost. Aku mengirap dengan observer macam ni guys. Observer macam ni paling aku menyampah. Kau tahu tak, kita tak nampak apa yang Queen tengah buat sekarang ni. Aku tengok screen besar 40 inci ni pun nampak kecil je Queen tu. Dah lah Queen kat belakang nombor battle end tu. Nak tengok Queen ke nak tengok nombor tu? Geram betul aku dengan observer macam ni. Kau buat kerja, kau satu kerja observer tau. Tolong buat kerja elok sikit. Aku tak kasih aku bebel ni. Jadi kita ada race pair sekarang ni untuk Road Rider juga Queen akan dapatkan tunnel. Zoom lah. Bukan kerja saya ni, ini production punya kerja lah ni. Saya caster je. Dah lah caster tak berbayar. Saya malah nak ngungkit hati orang kata meminta-minta kan. Tapi saya perlukan support korang je sebenarnya. Maklumlah kita ni komuniti kecil. Nak maju susah, dapat sponsor pun susah. Jadi kalau korang tak support, siapa lagi nak support kan? Siapa gelak akaun tabulan? Ya kita gelak guys. Hantarlah kalau berani. Alailah hantar kalau berani. Jadi Ghost memakan masa yang sangat lama di sini untuk dapatkan 3 bintang untuk STM Esport. Satu free spell untuk disimpan pada tahun depan. Jadi Ghost dan 3 bintang kemantapan di situ. Rata juga, mantap. Dekat YT gelak tak mention kena masuk GT. Dekat YT komen gelak tak mention. Dia tak rasa apa, dia kena masuk GT juga. Terima kasih yang mana follow. Korang memang mantap guys. Sejak event Halan habis, Halan tak perform malam ni. Halan banyak main suksi ni. Pongoknya Halan. Bos main bola dia main suksi. Apa MC boleh comeback ni? 4-2. Kita ada Bernaul. Dengan giant arrow untuk Queen telah pun mendapatkan value di kawasan atas, kanan dan juga atas. Atas biarlah, atas lah kan. Atas mana lagi. Dan Road Rider terus di spam daripada arah jam 1 untuk dimasuk ke dalam dengan race spell lepaskan di situ. Ada satu overgrowth spell akan digunakan di mana? Yap, gunakan di kawasan Town Hall. Itu adalah tempat yang paling betul untuk guna overgrowth spell sebenarnya. Sangat-sangat bijak daripada Burnout NTC. Jadi 2 race spell dan 3 free spell untuk digunakan sebentar lagi. Mungkin 1 race spell akan digunakan untuk bercepatkan Rider dapatkan Eagle dan juga King supaya overgrowth tidak memakan beliau punya Warden, ataupun dibiarkan saja Ricochet Cannon mendapatkan Warden, ataupun bagaimana. Free spell untuk Ricochet Cannon, selamatkan Warden, terus gunakan Royal Champion ability. Race spell sekarang ni untuk digunakan, dan terus lagi satu lagi race spell untuk di kawasan Town Hall, dan 1 minit 15 saat. Adakah sempat 1 minit 15 saat? 3 saat lagi, 2 saat lagi, 1 saat lagi, dan itu dia 1 minit 16 saat, 17 saat, 18 saat, 18 saat untuk Burnout. 1 minit 18 saat. Kau dapat 3 bintang 1 minit 18 saat. Pukul kau kepala lagi kau. Wow. Burnout ni aku tarik bisai dekat. Ni kelayakan ke memang World Championship main event qualifier? Diorang pakai meta apa, susah nak faham. Diorang pakai meta spam yang mana diorang kena dapatkan 3 bintang dalam masa yang sangat-sangat singkat untuk menang lah selalunya. Nama titik, thank you for the gift. Nampaknya diorang ni tak silap aku bekas-bekas teammate kat ni, Burnout dengan Rigo Torres ni. Bekas teammate masa 2022. Ya. Diorang satu team apa? Nama team diorang bukan Clash Champ. Apa tak nama? Siapa ingat guys? Nama team diorang apa? Tak silap aku bukan Clash Champ nama dia masa 2022. Time Navi juara. Kita ada Rigo Torres. Dia lepaskan di kawasan jam 12. Thank you yang mana follow. Terima kasih Haikal SKB. Terima kasih for support. Apa rasa halam SUC tak? Dah ada kan video interview dia tu. Gebok one team diorang. Bukan. Queen di kawasan bawah. Nampaknya Ice Golem telah pun terbang di situ. Dan kita boleh nampak ada cek 100,000 dekat belakang Rigo Torres, menandakan beliau bukan juara. Sebab kalau juara bukan 100,000. Aku macam terus je. Jadi sekarang ni lalu kena masukkan daripada kawasan bawah. Saya rasa dengan Battle Blim yang akan terdapatkan Town Hall. Kau tenung apa lagi? Lepaskan lah teruk. Oh tidak, dia masukkan di kawasan kiri. Okey, Rigo Torres atas dah rata. Zoom sikit tak nampak lah. Kejap abang, saya pergi saya book flight tiket pergi Helsinki, pergi Finland. Saya marah production bang. Nanti ni abang tolong payung saya flight tiket lah. Tiket flight ramai. Saya nak pergi sound kat sana bang. Ini bukan saya yang saya observer, saya caster je bang. Kalau saya observer sampai ke ketiak king saya zoom bang, jangan risau. Untuk abang saya boleh je zoom. Itu dia Rigo Torres. Dapat 3 bintang tapi aku tak senyum sangat sebab kau attack lebih pada 1.5 minit. Kalau aku tak senyum dah, sebab kita dah tahu meta sekarang ni meta masa kau boleh senyum-senyum pula dah. Kau aku ni Rigo Torres ni. Saya lihat diorang attack pakai 2 arah kan. Lebih kurang macam tu lah. 2-3 arah jugalah. Atas bawah dia kena cepat. Sebab nak kena cepat kan. 3 bintang tu sebenarnya mudah je untuk diorang, tapi nak dapat 3 bintang dalam masa singkat tu agak susah. Sebab kadang-kadang track tu boleh mengubah diorang punya entry, mengubah diorang punya serangan, yang akan mungkin makan diri diorang lah. Craig pun, Billy, thank you for the gift. Mr. X, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the support. Yang di YT, korang dah subscribe belum guys? Cuba komen. Saya YT, saya tengah grind tau. Saya tengah cuba untuk dapatkan subscriber sebanyak yang mungkin. Jadi kalau ada dekat DT yang ada YT, yang mana saya rasa semua orang ada YT, jadi korang subscribe lah saya guys. Ok, korang boleh dapat link YT saya dekat profile lah. Sebab sekarang saya dapat 4k subscriber, Alhamdulillah. Jadi memang kemantapan lah support-support korang. Saya ingat lagi zaman saya kau tengok observer pun tidur, production tidur ke apa awal-awal. Orang tengah tournament ni kau tidur apa? Member dah habis attack 5 minit lepas. Geram pula lah aku. Sorry saya geram dengan production tidur guys. Saya kat sini dah tahan mengantuk, dia boleh pula tidur kan. Kalau macam tu terpaksalah King jadi korban. Yes, kita kena gunakan hero kita sebaik mungkin. Itu adalah mindset yang betul main SOC sebenarnya. Sebab kita tak boleh takut. Cara nak main SOC, lagi-lagi sekarang ni dengan adanya ability custom yang sangat-sangat banyak jenis, korang kena bijak menggunakan hero untuk dapatkan value. Okay. Yo, thank you for the follow. Elok pun thank you for the gift. Billy thank you for the gift. Korang makan mantapan lah guys. Okay. Main SOC sekarang ni kena bijak menggunakan hero. Lagi-lagi sekarang ni lah. Kalau sebelum ni kita memang gunakan hero juga kadang untuk korban, tapi untuk meta tahun 16 ni, hero tu kau just kena bijak untuk gunakan dia di tempat yang tepat. Itulah yang saya guna, tips yang saya guna untuk attack CWL. Kalau korang tengok video kat YT saya dah upload saya punya sharing tentang CWL saya bulan ni. Korang boleh nampak berapa banyak saya rata. Saya guna 4 ID lawan dekat Champion League 3. 4 ID daripada 7 hari punya attack, 1 attack saja saya fail. Dan saya attack base kebanyakannya base yang orang kata sisa saki-baki je. Clanmate ambil awal, kita ambil last. Ok, dan kita ada sekarang Lupi untuk Savage Elite. Dan saya kena benda air je. Dan kita ada Naga, jadi digunakan oleh Lupi sekarang ni. Dengan healing tome yang digunakan oleh beliau. Tidak ada battle blame ya. Beliau gunakan Sis Barak. Okey. Agak mengerikan dengan S-Sweeper ada situ. Alright. Overgrowth digunakan di kawasan Town Hall dan juga S-Sweeper dan juga Monolith di situ. Dan 1 jump spell yang dibawa oleh Lupi. Adakah beliau akan pastikan ni King beliau boleh masuk ke kawasan dalam? Oh, nampaknya jump spell sikit gagal, di mana hero beliau tidak akan masuk ke kawasan dalam di situ. Kerana Queen berada di kawasan luar dan juga King berada di kawasan luar, dan tidak ada wall breaker untuk digunakan oleh beliau. Dan respect sekarang ni untuk Town Hall, untuk Naga dapatkan Town Hall. Dibantu oleh Wada, ada free spell lagi sekali untuk Scatter Shot. Royal Champion telah boleh gunakan ability. Ada 1 poison spell untuk digunakan di kawasan Monolith untuk dapatkan Scatter Trap. Queen diserang oleh Monolith sekarang ni. Royal Champion masih lagi hidup untuk dapatkan Monolith. Dan 3 bintang untuk Lupi. Walaupun sedikit bercelaru beliau punya serangan, tapi tetap saja dapatkan 3 bintang dengan masa yang singkat untuk Savage Elite. Jadi 1 minit 30 lebih saat untuk Savage Elite, tapi mereka masih lagi ketinggalan di belakang setakat ini dengan kekurangan 2 bintang. Nama titik, thank you for the gift. Dan kita ada agent 33 untuk STM Esport. Asal muka dia macam Woody guys. Bayar Naga dapat masuk tengah. Uish. Naga pun kena bayar Kita ada bad spare dia guna oleh agent tinggi. Kau nampak production tidur guys. Aku kalau ada production macam ni aku rasa nak geram pula laku. Nasib baik lah aku ni kasta tak berbayar. Kita dah tengok kat phone kan, kecil je. Hirap lah rasa. Padukan elektro, game on lah. Lawan 16 ni naga biru padu kot. Boleh dikatakan agak meta untuk STM Esport ataupun untuk tahun 16 sebenarnya. Jadi agent 3-3 hanya boleh dapatkan 3 bintang saja untuk memastikan kemenangan mereka dalam perlawanan pertama ni untuk mereka, dan perlawanan kedua untuk Qualifier. Royal Champion lawan dengan Ice Golem sekarang ini. Adakah 3 bintang untuk beliau? Nampak gaya macam agent 3-3 mungkin akan tercedok ataupun macam mana. Royal Champion dapat Malang Tifno sekarang ni. Queen masih lagi hidup. RC dapat Bidahat, RC one more hit dapat Bidahat, dan 3 bintang untuk agent 3-3. Walaupun agak sedikit sipir-sipir di situ. Dan perfect war untuk HTM Esport. Jadi yang mana belum follow, tekan butang follow guys. Kita ada match ketiga dan match keempat sebentar saja lagi. Aku nampak dia macam Woody kat game tu tadi. Aku ingat Woody ni. Tapi tengok gambar ni nampak lain sikit. Azlan lagi follow, Lia School lagi follow. Mantap yang follow guys, kurang mah kemantapan lah. Dan kita ada Celinho untuk Savage Elite. Jadi Mr. MVP ataupun the great leader untuk Brazilian dalam dunia COC, iaitu Celinho, buat serangan untuk Savage Elite sekarang ini dengan Road Rider di kawasan kiri, King Queen di kawasan kanan. Dapat Royal Champion defensi dengan mudah di situ. Sementara Sis Berak ataupun PK daripada Sis Berak membuat final ini kawasan atas dengan begitu kemantapan. Poison Spell untuk Ice Golem yang keluar daripada Classic sekarang ini. King dengan Jump Spell untuk dapatkan King defensif. Overgrowth Spell untuk hilangkan Town Hall, dan Scatter Shot juga di kiri kanan. Queen dapatkan Monolith sekarang ni. King telah pun dibunuh dan dihidupkan semula oleh Phoenix. Queen dapat Monolith, tapi Queen terus digunakan ability. Dia ada 1 raise spell dan 2 free spell untuk digunakan. Royal Champion diserang sekarang ni oleh Ricochet Cannon dan juga Town Hall. Dia ada free spell untuk digunakan. Terus menggunakan Royal Champion ability sekarang ni. Raise spell untuk Royal Champion, freeze untuk Town Hall. Dia dapatkan Town Hall dengan mudah. Road Rider ada lebih kurang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lagi mungkin untuk Celinho. Mungkin 1 yang mati ataupun 2. Dan baki masa 1 minit setengah. Dan Celinho hanya perlu memusnahkan Scatter Shot dan juga Ricochet Cannon sekarang ini. Lepaskan Spore Barrier untuk tank. Valkyrie cuba mendapatkan Scatter Shot. 1 minit lagi tinggal. Warden akan membantu Road Rider untuk meratakan base ini, dan 3 bintang untuk Celinho. Tetapi Savage Elite tidak cukup untuk melayakkan diri ke pusingan seterusnya, dan mereka jatuh ke lower bracket selepas ini. Walau bagaimanapun Celinho tetap saja dapatkan 3 bintang untuk Savage Elite. Pakai FW tak best. Tahun 16 dah macam tahun 10 je. Apa tu pakai FW tu apa? Jadi kat YT senyap je. Semua tak subscribe lagi ke? Sunyi ke YT?
on the rest of the board.
Road tu
Stands, it is going to be a 15-13 win.
awak macam mana defend sangat-sangat teruk.
Predictions on this one here, and I guess Itsu is the only one who gets to stay with a perfect prediction on this one here, as he got both of them right there in the first 2 rounds. And now we have our upper and lower bracket set here.
Ilyas, thank you for the gift. Kemantapan. Hafiz, thank you for the follow.
Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights from that last round. Itsu's going to be very happy that his prediction came through, but Carbon and I are going to be in the same boat as you, Eric. The highlights now are going to be showing on screen as we see the best attacks from this last war and the obliterating defenses, in fact, as Pado just...
Oh, serangan daripada Pato tadi kita boleh nampak. Liao boleh dikatakan agak overconfident, saya boleh kata. Base squad pun RR memang rata. Sekarang ni dekat tournament diorang lebih daripada lawan masa. Dan base design ni kena pandai main trap untuk melewatkan perjalanan truk ataupun mungkin membuatkan opponent terkejut dengan trap. Jadi base builder ni memang kerja diorang untuk tahun 16 ni sangat-sangat susah. Diorang akan menangis tengok base tetap diratakan, tapi diorang akan berpuas hati kalau base tu diserang dan juga mendapat masa yang lebih daripada 1.5 minit. Alright. Tapi kalau main war biasa tu itu memang GG ya. Itu kau layan je lah. Awal pula tu bukan hujung tahun ke ni qualifier. Qualifier bang.
I believe that was a 97% 1-star. That very unfortunate for him. The last 2 defenses that were also sitting right next to the town hall defending against the remaining Root Riders.
Asal dia Torres tu bintang gelap kan?
Heavy bulking defenses.
Asal tak tunjuk masa kat situ. Aduh, rosak lah. Pato tu iyalah 1 star. Vigo Torres tu 3 bintang kot. Apalah. Ada 4 match lagi guys. Damn. 4 match lagi guys. Vigo Torres MVP untuk match ni.
Yeah, and as many as we like to point out that Nick has so many championships in the past there, Rigo Torres is definitely a crowd favorite, but I mean, welcome back to Carbon, Finn, and Itsu. Guys, think about that. That's kind of a crazy match to start with a 1-star. What do you think about that, Carbon?
Yeah, crazy.
Mata diorang semua biru tu kan? Kalau korang perasan mata semua biru. Adik-beradik ke diorang?
Chance of losing after that, but it's happened. 1 stars, and there's been 2 defenses to make a comeback, so it is possible but very unlikely. But really the storyline is Itsu, you're 2 for 2. Tell us your secrets.
I mean, I told you, just drink tea and all will be fine. Like, it's amazing. No, but like, all seriousness, I feel like this match was really close anyways, and a lot of those matches are coming down to the first attacks and who can then snowball on those, first leads, I guess. And
Because 10 minit lagi guys, berapa lama tu?
no chance to recover because HTM were just playing it safe and really clean with their attacks, getting those 3 stars in and their attacks in general.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do in that situation, though.
Sementara tu tengok je Rizak MC tak ada comeback lagi ke? Aduh, MC tak ada main bola ke MC? Libru keluar. 6 shot off target tu. Hebat mana MC ni? Judo slot tak ada ke?
Qualifier with
Dekat hutan lah tu tengah gayut rasanya.
so far are still yet coming up short.
Tak tahu sama ada diorang tukar-tukar ataupun
Just
judo tak sihat ke apa ke.
now with the possibility of elimination if they lose their
Not sure lah.
They'll be down in the lower bracket with another chance to try to make it back up toward the top. But it's going to be HTM Esports, another team scoring a perfect war once again to march onward along the top side. These predictions are getting even more difficult as we get into matches where teams are upsetting expectations and showing us that they can rewrite the script on the fly. They can change their attack strategies. They can go for safe 3 stars instead of trying to blast forward at full speed, guns blazing. Carbon, let's take another look at the bracket and let's hear your thoughts on round 2.
Yeah, with round 2, we've got the first and second seeded teams finally ready for action. Early Attacks and VM Legacy have been waiting. They did the best through
Early Attacks lawan dengan Dizzy Sport depan ni guys.
which has earned their spot to get a bye. So now it's their turn with the very next match is going to be Early Attacks versus Disney Esports. Then we're going to have VM Legacy taking on HTM Esports. And then matches 5 and 6 in the bottom left. In the lower bracket.
Jadi hari ni kita akan lihat siapakah yang akan singkir. Ada 2 tim. Sama ada MMG atau Civic Elite ataupun lagi 2 tim yang akan lawan selepas ni. Oh, semua sokong EA. Semua sokong EA.
Predictions wrong so far.
2 versus 1 is not fair, right? So that's not how it works. But to me, early attacks.
Harap-harap SC aku akan defend yang boleh matikan dengan cepat. Lambat lagi kot. Saya rasa tahun 17 nanti mungkin akan tukar meta. Hakim, thank you for the follow. Saya rasa tahun 17 akan tukar meta. Sebab saya tak rasa diorang akan tukar meta sepanjang tahun 16 ni sebabkan diorang dah start tournament. Jadi sama macam tahun 15 dulu. Sebab tahun 15 dulu bermula dengan level difficulty yang sangat tinggi dan terpaksa diteruskan sampai hujung World Championship dan dikeluarkan tahun 16 terus dengan dengan meta yang sangat-sangat mudah. Jadi tak tahu lah, kita nak tengok tahun 17 kot, mungkin kita akan tahu sama ada kesusahan punya level tu akan still the same ataupun diorang akan balancekan seperti tahun-tahun sebelum ni. Tak ada nama, thank you for the follow. Memang kemantapan lah korang. MC tak kemantapan langsung. Tak main bola tu MC ni. Rasa noob. Agak-agak bila mereka akan keluar, mungkin tahun ni, mungkin hujung tahun ni, mungkin ataupun tahun depan. Sebab diorang dah kata tempoh masa Town Hall sekarang ni bukan lagi 18 bulan. Diorang bertukar kepada range 12 bulan. Jadi kita mungkin akan dapat satu Town Hall 1 tahun. Mungkin saya tak bagi confirmation, tapi itu adalah anggaran seperti mana ataupun ramalan seperti mana telah pun diberitahu oleh tim-tim Supercell sendiri. Evo tu berapa dapat tak dapat lagi. Saya boleh je dapat 3 bintang dengan tutorial orang lain, tapi saya tak nak tengok. Saya tak nak tengok dan saya tak nak ikut. Saya nak cuba untuk cara saya. Tapi buat masa ni saya tak settle lagi. Sebab saya rasa bos setengah jam saya try daripada start keluar itu, lepas tu saya tak on. Saya tak on sangat ZOC, sorry guys. Saya tak apa lagak, saya burn out sebenarnya. Sebab tu saya dah lama tak buat live. Saya burn out. Jadi saya minta maaf lah kalau korang menunggu saya punya video tapi setiap keluar saya minta maaf guys. Saya harap korang tak marah saya dan harap pasti support saya. Okay. Dan jangan lupa guys, squad buster yang akan keluar lebih kurang 4 hari lagi. Okay. Jangan lupa tentang squad buster. Imran bukan Hades ke? Kan Imran ni Hades saja kan? Betul tak guys? Aku rasa tu Hades. Ke salah?
What's interesting
Betul lah tu Hadis guys?
The roster for their
Asal dia pakai nama Imran? Dia Islam ke?
different
Kenapa orang India tu?
see like representation from a bunch of different esports orgs that have played throughout the years here, and that's what's really
Kau nampak ke? Ya.
here for this team. Like Yana will play in the last year's World Championship, but then they
Pak, ada orang cari kau ni Pak.
completely is revamped it and just kind of picked off like a handful like all
Pak tengah berak tu. Tunggu lah nanti.
basically
Imran Bat tu.
here, and they
Apa pula Imran Bat gelap?
for me. I think we'll hopefully see this team a lot more in the future. But on the other side here, DZ Esports, you see a lot of them in the DZ uniform there, but we still
Yeah,
see
guys.
representation from a lot of other esports awards from throughout the years. Remember that we saw them play as KOG in the past, we saw them play as X Team, we saw them play as Pentaflare, and so another very, very seasoned group of players here. And I think that the stat line is actually about even across the board here, like you said. As we look across, nobody's perfect on this team. Nobody's completely flawless, and so anybody is always primed to maybe make a mistake there. I guess we'll see what happens as they get into the match here. But very interesting lineups from both of these teams here, Woody.
Yeah, I think supergroup really is the right word to describe them. Early Attacks has two players that are from the same country, NYU and Yada. But besides that, yeah, they're pulling the best talent that they can from around the world. And the same can actually be said of the number 2 seeded team. VM Legacy has got 5 players, all from 5 different countries. In some cases speaking different languages, but all speaking the language of Clash. They know how to get those 3 stars. They trust each other through and through. And it seems like that's what's providing success right now at this stage of the tournament. Will that be enough to get a golden ticket? You may find out in the next 24, 48 hours. Early Attacks have a chance now to see if that success can continue to hold, or will it be faltering here on the main stage as the bracket is now narrowing down. The final 6 here are still now only 4 that are undefeated in the upper bracket. The vote is in, though, from our fans at home, and it's 54% for Early Attacks to 46% for Disney Esports. So still a pretty close match here, but they are tipping in our favor, guys.
Man, what a match we have here, as we are indeed going to be saying goodbye to Itsu and Woody. You'll be on the sidelines watching in this match. You'll be back. So that means it is now Eric and I. We are ready to go for match number 3 here of today. We got 6 total matches. 2 teams will be getting eliminated and going home, or I guess staying home. I mean, they're going to be trying to get a golden ticket to go to Worlds, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of Clash Esports this weekend, and even for the rest of the months to come. I cannot wait. Let's see if the number 1 seeded Early Attacks, they could get jinxed by us casters.
Oh, everybody's looking to get jinxed by us, but I was just looking up the ELO ratings for DZ Esports. They're currently ranked, I guess, number 3 in the world, where Early Attacks is number 14 in the world out of all of the competitions, World Championship, and also for community tournaments. So you're looking at very, very, very high-end teams here, but if you just ran it by recent tournament action, then DZ Esports would actually be the favorite of this match, even though Early Attacks tends to seem to be the
Game 3 minit, borak setengah jam. Biasalah tu bang, nama orang buat live.
first time that we'll see Early Attacks play today. Let's kick into this.
Ini live bang, bukannya tournament offline. Tournament offline boleh lah kan, tournament community yang dibuat oleh di BKL ke, tu boleh lah nak cepat. Ini World Championship bang, mana boleh. Dia ada jadual dia ada timing dia kan. Nah, macam sekarang ni timing untuk makan. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oh, dah ada attack guys. Yueta. Oh, tak asal gambar Yata. Ini Yata. Yang dekat webcam ni Yata, bukan Yueta. Aduh, organizer tidur lagi. Organizer ni alamak, Yata dengan Yueta pun tak ada beza. Aku walaupun dah lama tak layan kompetitif, aku kenal lagi Yata. Member salah orang tu. Mandai je lah, betul lah. Ini Yata, tak nampak baju DEA dia pakai tu. Yang tengah hashtag sekarang ni Z Esport, nama dia Yueta. Lain. yang dekat kamera sekarang nama ni Yatta daripada Elite Attacks. Saya kenal lah roommate saya dulu ni, member kaki main sepak bola. Dia top legend kot. Bangun tidur je nampak muka sepak bola, punya muka dia. Ingat saya scam ke? Nampak macam dia attack kan, tapi bukan. Dia tengah tengok attack tu, bukan dia attack. Takkan dia pakai baju opponent. Nampak gambar pun lain. Tadi cabi ni cekung lain tu. Minit 24 saat lah. Okay.
We've seen him play through the pro scene a lot, and recent addition here to early attacks roster for the 2024 season, and we'll see what he can do.
Kita ada Aquis.
Very impressive.
Aquis OP. Muka dia penuh dengan serius. Tak ada kat kamera lagi bang. Nak tengok lubang hidung bang. Bapak dekat kamera siap. Macam tengah busy dengan dia. Macam tengah busy mat kamera. Tak relax tu. Tapi sekarang ni aku SOP sedang masuk karut dari kawasan atas. Overgrowth di kawasan tengah. Meta sekarang ni di mana overgrowth digunakan di pertengahan serangan, bukan di awal serangan. Okey. Top 9 tak ada ke? 2024 lah bang. Tengok bila main top 9 ni. First town sekarang ni aku dapatkan tunnel 3 bintang kemantapan. Weh, laju attack ni weh. 9 minit 15 saat ada. Aduh mak, ada poison pula kat town hall tu. Slow sikit lah. 9 minit 20 saat. 9 minit 20 saat. Kacau lah poison tu guys. Poison dah habis lah. Poison dah habis. Cepat green. Tapi boleh tahan laju lah. 9 minit setengah. Sebelum 9 minit setengah. Not bad lah. Jenuh apa pun tak nampak kan. Dasar pemalas punya Ozuva.
Really pairing into that overgrowth, getting some fantastic value at a minute 24, meaning they have the lead at the moment, and they're looking to continue to try to lower that time. But
nampak tak gambar belah kanan tu Yatta? Itulah yang tadi kat kamera tadi tu. Saya bukan scam korang. Ada kata saya mandai-mandai tadi guys. Nampak Yatta tu? Kan betul YATTA. Tadi tu Yueta lain. Significantly more difficult, but on top of that, if you arrive into the grand finals in the upper bracket, you only have to win once to claim the golden ticket. So it's so much easier to try to take it from the upper bracket than to fall down and have to play through all those extra matches. And so that's what they're gunning for here. But we go into Kai as we go for the second exchange beginning. Another Root Rider attack here. Pretty standard equipment across the board here for the heroes, and that is the most meta attacks, most meta equipment there. As we see the generally most. Ya, kau tak pernah nampak kan? Je aku try ni. Aku try besarkan sikit ni. And once again, it is an islanded off town hall with a lot of heavy defenses there. And I'd like to see the overgrowth used, but I don't want it to hit the center of the core. We want to leave up a handful of buildings in the core to make sure that we have targets to go in and try to thin it out a little bit there. So I want to see it offset just slightly in one direction or the other, and that's what he does right there. Just kind of hit the Eagle artillery, but leave up a couple of targets there so we can thin it out and make sure that the town hall is right on the edge of the overgrowth. So we sorry. Yeah, with that Queen and King coming through the top side, utilizing that jump spell, looking to clear the funnel up top while he has the Root Riders Valks continuing their way to the bottom side with another 2 freezes and a rage still to use, looking to pair all these troops together to come together and take out that town hall. He does invest that final rage spell for the Raw Champion ability and crushing through the core, and just past the 60-second mark, we're hitting hitting into the 70s there, and fantastic getting another triple. Okay, macam ni guys. Nak sikit tak?
looking to lower that time for a minute 28 average for this team.
Ni sikit.
Minute 20 now.
Very impressive. Minute and 12 seconds, like a 72-second attack rate.
Ni apa ni dulu kat mana? Kat Play Store ada bang, Clash of Clans.
I think anytime
Okey sikit, mantap.
20, you know that they gotta be feeling happy about that. That caliber of attack right there, the attack speed that they need to be able to pull off to be able to get to the World Championship. I think if they can sustain fast attacks like that, they have a really, really good chance of taking down early attacks. But we've also seen that early attacks is also just as capable of going at that pace as well. And after their fast start, they're going to have to pick things up as well, even faster.
Tu offline ke online?
Go in with Imran, with
Kita ada Imran. Aduh Imran seksi gila Imran.
those are the best.
Siuk lah Imran.
Would recommend them. Most people
Tak kasi luar ke?
are just universally strong with almost any attack that you pair.
Aduh Imran. Tutup ada aurat tu.
No gimmicks. It's just pure.
Memang tak tutup aurat lah guys.
So Imran will make his way forward with the Root Riders and
Imran.
see the overgrowth, and we want to think about the same fundamentals with the overgrowth. Hit the town hall, but put on the edge of
Oh dia pun main takatil.
and lock out as many defenses around it, but thin the area around
Kan lah suara panjang ke selimut ke?
your way forward.
Aduh.
Yeah, with the Warden ability
Jadi
protecting them,
King kawasan bawah.
healing tome to look to heal.
Dengan 1 jam spam untuk King. Dapatkan Queen Defense dan singa Inferno.
Side, those P.E.K.K.A.'s getting some nice value with the Wizards behind.
Oh mereka untuk Queen dapatkan Multi Inferno. Oh.
Nice for that Queen, so she can step in, grab that multi-target Inferno, and the overgrowth
Oh
was now
King sedang shuffle sekarang ni. Tarik oleh kena trap.
way around.
At the jump to get the King to push into the very bottom of the base there, but he's going to be taken out before he can really even get through the jump right there. He's already going to Phoenix right there. We've got a couple shots over the wall there, but the World Champion with him providing tanking that area. He's able to step in and get the single Inferno down while it goes full beam onto him under Phoenix. That means nothing for him as he was invincible, but now he's got to go back to the core, holds on to a freeze, holds on to a rage, or in fact 2 freezes, and now he can push his way back in, leave the Town Hall at the very end. Super Barbarians drop it in as he had access to them directly into the model at the very top of the base, and the Town Hall will be
Mantap Imran. Padu.
absolutely crushed.
Padu Imran guys.
Pulled the board, but was it
Tapi jangan lupa pakai keluar panjang.
where they stand?
Aduh Imran, malu lu Imran.
1 second of average attack
Imran.
split, a minute and 18 as Imran gets it done.
Problem lah Imran guys.
It is close. Matter of a few seconds in terms of the total time there. Literally, it could go either way. They're basically tied here. Obviously, triples apiece, exact same percentage. But when it comes down to it, if it is indeed that perfect war, which we haven't seen here today, did see it in last month's monthly finals. But
Jadi kita ada Cian sekarang ni guys.
we'll eventually see this weekend a perfect war where time will indeed come.
Cian ni bukannya orang sebut masa buat pick up line dia guys.
Happens towards the second day when these teams had started
Cian
the
kan.
jitters out of the way,
Orang sebut nama dia kan.
really focus and be getting those perfect wars.
And they have to play, like you see that they're going fast here. They're pushing the time limits all the way down as slow as they can get them. They have to put the pressure onto the other team. You put the pressure onto the other team, and that's part of the game plan. That is to get the other team to make mistakes, because if they buckle under the pressure, they rush attacks, they make mistakes, then that is where you see them
Sekarang kita ada DZ.
into a 2-star, or even just an attack just kind of missing out on a single building here or there. And
Masukkan King kau salam.
a lot of time. So we'll see what happens, but Chen is in for DZ Esports as we do see Root Riders in for the far right. The King
Root Rider kawasan kanan sekarang ni. Terus gunakan King ability. Bukan spiky ball yang dia gunakan, tapi jangan golek saja. Aku rasa macam better dia guna spiky ball ni.
foes on the side of the artillery.
Kalau
As of the King, that preserves the
defense jarak macam ni kan, macam kurang je. Efektif guna jangan golek.
in almost every side of the base simultaneously.
And he does indeed use that
Overgrowth
which
untuk dapatkan atau untuk tutup Monolith dan juga Town Hall. Dan juga dua apa ni?
so the Queen
Oh, ada Tesla farm kat situ.
an Expo, an Inferno Tower, grab the ricochet cannon as that Tesla farm does pop to the bottom side with a bunch of skeletons.
Tesla farm tu akan mengganggu perjalanan Root Rider
Absolutely
untuk tak masuk dapat tak masuk ke dalam respell.
the Queen now also
Jadi Royal Champion dalam bahaya sekarang ni.
moving his way and trying to wrap his way
Free
back
spell
to the
Monolith.
wall. He only has a handful of spells
Queen
left.
dapat
Looking to keep this Queen alive as these
Ricochet
Royals-
cannon.
or these Root Riders and the RC push right through that range spell.
Asyik setengah free spell.
The range that they need to
Payan, thank you for the follow.
base to be able to stay competitive.
Dan itu dia 3 bintang untuk Cian. Mantap lah guys.
Leave the storage over
Yang ni meta teruk lah sekarang ni guys.
It's gonna cost him a few seconds, but he'll finish wiping out the
Combo Root Rider dengan Overgrowth ni meta teruk ni.
does survive, surges away across there, and this one is so far the slowest attack of the war. start a minute and 30, but a minute and 30 is still very, very competitive with where they need to be right now. So the time, as we see, shifts over to a minute and 23 average as he locks that one in, and the pressure remains for early attacks.
The pressure indeed, it keeps building and building. Now as the 3 stars are coming in. As one of the final attackers in a match that is like this, you have to have 2 plans. You have to have one plan that is a quick attack, and then you have to have a second plan that is an even quicker attack that's even more risky, really.
Jadi sekarang ni, kalau korang tak tahu, diorang sekarang ni lebih kepada tengah berlawan dari segi masa. Sebab setakat serangan kedua ataupun ketiga ni, diorang semua attack dan dapatkan purata masa yang sangat-sangat rendah. Kau boleh nampak sekarang ni purata masa 1 minit 20 saat, 1 minit 23 saat, beza 2 saat sahaja. Jadi masa sangat-sangat penting untuk diorang ni.
And it can be very difficult to manage all that multitasking, and that's where we see potential mistakes happen. But we do see the Riders drop to the very bottom base here. They clear with the skill dispel, disabling the ricochet cam to the far left.
Gunakan wadah ability untuk Road Rider bersama dengan Royal Champion dan Poison untuk Ice Golem. Sementara King sedang berada di kawasan kanan untuk King dikeluarkan oleh Skeleton Trap. Sayang sekali. Okey, tapi mereka dah lepaskan di situ untuk membantu King dapatkan ataupun masuk ke dalam. Navi dah lawan ke? Navi disqualified untuk bulan ni. Breaker di kawasan atas, Overgrowth di kawasan tengah, menutup Town Hall, Eagle dan juga Monolith. Terus dilepaskan Repair dan juga RC ability digunakan untuk dapatkan Town Hall dan juga dapatkan Monolith. 1 minit 50 saat untuk Leo sekarang ni. Dapatkan King defensif dengan hit antri dimasukkan oleh beliau, dibantu oleh healer untuk selamatkan Road Rider. Dapat King defensif. 10 minion cuba dapatkan Martage Tower sekarang ini. 1 minit 40 saat lagi tinggal. Ada lebih kurang 5 saat lagi tinggal untuk Leo. Dapat rata 1 minit 29, 1 minit 28. Wow, 1 minit 28 saat. Tak sama dah macam dulu. Sekarang dah senang 3 star ya. Muhammad thank you for follow. Jadi sekarang ni masa siapa lagi pantas dia akan menang. Sebab semua attack sekarang ni bawah 1 minit setengah. Bayangkan, bawah 1 minit setengah dia orang attack guys. Dan menggunakan spiky bomb untuk King. Freeze tengah sekarang ni. Overgrowth untuk Town Hall. Freeze Ice Golem dan juga Poison untuk tidak mengganggu Road Rider beliau. Royal Champion sudah berada di kawasan bawah sekarang ni. Sementara King sama dengan truk beliau di kawasan tengah. Overgrowth telah pun habis sekarang ni. Freeze Town Hall sekarang ni. Untuk Kui dapatkan Town Hall dahulu sebelum Invis Tower diaktifkan. Terus digunakan Royal Champion ability. Freeze dibiarkan saja. Kui dapat Town Hall. Kui dapat Town Hall. Lebih kurang 20 saat saja lagi diperlukan di Denden. Denden gunakan spiky ball untuk dapatkan value, dan itu dia 3 bintang kemantapan untuk Denden dalam masa 1 minit 23 saat sahaja. Wow, 1 minit 23 saat. Pais lagi boleh follow. Kalau dua-dua tim 3 star macam mana tentukan pemenang. Kalau abang dengar tu saya sebut apa tentang match ni, masa. Saya banyak kali tekankan masa. Saya dah cakap banyak kali, diorang bukan berlawan untuk dapatkan 3 bintang, tapi diorang lawan untuk dapatkan masa paling singkat untuk diorang 3 bintang. Faham tak? Okey, jadi buat masa sekarang ni DZ Esport ada advantage. Jadi NYU perlu dapatkan 3 bintang di bawah 10 minit 23 saat. Kau bayangkan. Pressure sangat-sangat tinggi untuk NYU. Oh, keluar tunnel trap di situ. Overgrow sekarang ni untuk Town Hall dan juga Monolith. Lepaskan Ray Spell. Lepaskan Spellbound untuk bantu Queen dapatkan King defensif. 1 Ray Spell dan 2 Free Spell untuk digunakan. Overgrow telah pun habis. Freeze Town Hall sekarang ni. Terus gunakan King ability. Queen ability juga terus digunakan. Spell Breaker di kawasan Monolith. 1 lagi Free Spell untuk digunakan. Ray Spell di kawasan Mountain Inferno. Terus gunakan Royal Champion ability. 4 saat lagi tinggal untuk NYU. Adakah beliau akan berjaya? Oh, wow. 1 minit 20 saat untuk NYU. Wow. 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 NYU dia meletakkan early attack di depan dengan kelebihan masa yang singkat di sini. Tenang, is good. Thank you for the follow. GG. Kenapa senang sangat full star? Sebab itulah COC. Jadi jaga, adakah 3 bintang untuk beliau? Kalau 3 bintang, berapakah masa yang akan dikutip oleh jaga?
Monthly finals, and if whoever wins continues their run in the upper bracket. If you lose, you get sent to the lower bracket, and your tournament life will be on the line, which you will be playing later today, and you could indeed get eliminated and be going home here. As now we're seeing a
Sebab there was
with a giant arrow and dragons.
Oh man, I mean, I don't think
Dan ini Ru. Okey. Dia gunakan naga. Nampaknya jaga tidak gunakan Road Rider. Oh, okay, nice ability situ untuk dapatkan air sweeper. King di kawasan atas dan naga dimulakan di kawasan bawah sekarang ini. Battle Beam ke arah Town Hall. Ray Spell, water ability terus digunakan. Overgrowth. Oh, tak kena poison tower tapi kena scatter shot. Setakat ni kita tidak nampak serangan fireball. Saya tidak pasti adakah mereka tidak upgrade langsung fireball ataupun memang tak menggunakan fireball. Sebab saya rasa kalau Navi ada, mungkin Klaus akan gunakan fireball dalam serangan dia. Ada King ability yang masih boleh gunakan. Saya tak pasti adakah Spiky Ball ataupun Gauntlet digunakan oleh jaga. Oh, Spiky Ball itu dia. Mantap sekali penggunaan Spiky Ball daripada jaga. Dengan Gauntlet 1 minit 50 saat. RC dapat quick defensive. Free spell Mountain Inferno 1 minit 15 saat telah pun berlalu. Adakah bawah 1 minit 20? 1 minit 24 saat, 25 saat, 26 saat, 1 minit 24 saat untuk jaga. 1 minit 28 saat untuk jaga. Jadi ini akan menambahkan average attack duration untuk DZ Esports, tetapi Tekanan sangat-sangat tinggi untuk serangan terakhir daripada early attacks.
With the final attack needing to be around a minute 23, they'll have it. They can start to approach.
Iaitu Yata.
But we're gonna see
Sekarang tim mana yang padu? Kalau ikutkan qualifier ni, seed nombor 1 early attacks,
average.
seed nombor 2 VM Legacy yang akan main match lepas ni.
You advance in the upper bracket. You
Jadi itu dia Yata
down to lower bracket and indeed
dengan 24 sebab
Riders, the Velks, he's got a jump.
tekanan sangat-sangat tinggi untuk beliau. Sis Barrett di kawasan bawah dan terus dilepaskan Road Rider dan juga Valkyrie. Queen di kawasan kanan. Oh, Queen kehilangan unicorn ataupun tak? Queen tak hilang unicorn. Terus water ability digunakan. Ada overgrowth untuk dilepaskan sebentar lagi. King di kawasan kanan. Royal Champion di depan Queen sekarang ni untuk masuk di kawasan Ricochet Cannon. Free spell untuk Ricochet Cannon. Selamatkan Royal Champion. Dah tidak melepaskan lagi overgrowth spell setakat ini. King dengan jump spell, itu dia overgrowth di kawasan tengah sekarang ni. Terus gunakan King ability untuk dapatkan defensi di kawasan kanan. Poison spell sekarang ni untuk Ice Golem yang keluar. King dapatkan multi Edge Tower dahulu sebelum melawan dengan Ice Golem. Queen akan masuk ke bahagian tengah sekarang ni. Sebuah minion membantu Royal Champion dapatkan Ice Golem. Ada satu lagi raise spell. 1 minit telah pun berlalu sekarang ini, ataupun belum tepat 1 minit tapi 1 minit. Raise spell. Poison Tower dicampak di situ untuk mengganggu Royal Champion, tapi bantuan raise spell dan juga freeze sungguh-sungguh membantu sebenarnya untuk Yata mendapatkan 3 bintang. Tapi sekarang ni 1 minit 15 saat. Oh, agak bahaya. Tidak ada Road Rider untuk Yata. Spobach cuba dapatkan Poison Tower sekarang di kawasan dalam. Valkyrie cuba untuk membuka war sekarang bersama dengan PK. 1 minit 25 saat, 27, 28, 30 saat sudah berlalu untuk beliau. Adakah cukup? Oh, terhadap trapper sekarang ini. PK sedang berjoget sekarang ini. PK hanya memerlukan beberapa hit saja untuk dapatkan mati Inferno dan 1 minit 30 berapa saat ataupun 1 minit 40 saat. Oh, saya rasa EA telah pun gagal untuk layak. Jadi mereka hanya kalah dengan perbezaan 2 saat saja. Nice trap untuk Dizzy Sport. Nazrul Hakim, terima kasih follow. Yata sedikit bernasib malang di situ. GG untuk early attacks.
Wow, well, my friends, we have no idea what is going to be happening this month. It really could go in any direction here.
Adakah DC Esports akan dapatkan golden ticket yang kedua untuk tahun ni?
War came down to the crazy attack to the dragons right there with the spiky ball and the giant arrow. I mean, dragons are strong right now. Dragons in the meta have definitely been picking up here a lot, and we see
Mesti dirasa bersalah.
Yep. I like that towards the end of these wars, like it seems like they first go through and choose all the bases that they see a vulnerability on their providers and they can confidently go in and take it down. But then towards the end of the war, we see things start to shift away from it a little bit there with a couple of attacks and try to find something that can make a way through when maybe the root riders would not be able to get it done. So, and that's where we see the most hiccups on time as well as towards the end.
Jadi epic comeback daripada Dizzy Esports melalui pertahanan mereka. Mantap sekali. Lepas ni tim mana lawan? Tunggu sekejap kita akan tengok bracket. BM Legacy lawan dengan apa tah? Saya lupa tadi. HTM Esports saya rasa.
DZ Esports was able to hang in, and now they've just taken out one of the biggest name teams in Clash of Clans Esports. But that seems to be the story that they've been running right now. I feel like I've been watching them play through a lot of different tournaments recently, and they've been.
Jadi kita santai jap, kubat dulu.
Team after big name team constantly. I think the only team that would be like the high end of Clash of Clans Esports that I haven't seen them take down recently was our defending world champions that are now Savage Esports. So I think they've claimed almost every big team, every notable team in Clash of Clans Esports right now, and they're at the top of the game right now.
They're looking good as a perfect war comes in, but it was on the side of Dizzy Esports. They are going to be getting the victory on 2 seconds average attack duration lead, and that is what is going to be determining it here. And this is what we are thinking, having a lot of these wars. Perfect. This is the first one here today. It's only the 3rd match. We still have 3 more matches to go, and the final 2 matches today will actually be elimination matches, where we're going to be sending 2 teams home. And Early Attack was actually the #1 seed coming into today. They got a first round bye, but that wasn't good enough for them to win this match, as they are going to the lower bracket, as we've got our MVP here coming in for Dizzy Esports at 30% here, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, alright, well, obviously. Right.
Dari atas kita belajar betapa bahaganya masa.
Show for everybody. That's how you win over.
Dizzy dari class Sub BATX yang kalahkan Navi dulu ke? Saya tak pasti sama ada Sub BATX ataupun lain. Yang saya pasti daripada China tu je. Sebab aku rasa macam tim ni dia campur-campur. Dia campur-campur ni. Cuma tak ingat player sama ataupun tak.
Perfect war coming down to very few seconds even to decide the tiebreaker. Carbon, commiserations alongside you, sir. We've gone over 3 on prediction so far.
Kalau dulu ni semua dapat perfect war, diorang punya attack duration tu mesti 2 minit. Sekarang ni 1.5 minit je, Mat. Dah habis ke belum? Price pool tu SOC 1M.
I would say 2 things. One is the meta's completely up for grabs, and 2 is probably more accurate is,
Price pool 1M USD.
you know, that's really it. And
Tapi dia pecahkan daripada semua qualifier lah.
and
Daripada qualifier sampai final.
I predicted in here. I'm gonna probably go 0-4 now at this current rate, so it's just a matter of time that we know the next match, and I just can't be correct. It's Woody. I think we're jinxed here, but I'm so sorry there to Itsuda rooting your perfect streak here. But let's take a look at the bracket now, where we currently stand.
Jadi kita akan lihat VM Legacy lawan dengan HTM Esports selepas ni.
Dropping to the lower bracket due to the incredible shooting power of Carbon. Woody. But no, I think Dizzy Esports overall really in a deserved fashion won that match. They are really consistent team, getting those perfect scores in the first match, second match.
Dah habis ke belum? Kita akan ke match keempat selepas ni. Izhar, thank you for the gift. Terima kasih guys yang mana support saya. Korang mah kemantapan lah guys.
Which is another crazy match happening later today, and then the next match, which is on our hands, is going to be VM Legacy versus HTM. And this one, oh god, come on.
Semua sokong, semua predict VM Legacy.
Seriousness,
Confirm Dizzy menang ni. Esok kita akan tengok final.
players of VM earlier this year together, where we have tested bases together, built bases together.
Tapi Dizzy agak perform agak konsisten lah. Dia punya attack pun memang cepat je rata. Mantap lah.
Monster on defense. So
Bila kau attack dah, saya kata bang, saya bukan player. Sebab ni tournament, ni bukannya saya punya live main SOC.
I said it, it's not possible. I think they're going to win this next match.
Yeah, and what's interesting, earlier Woody mentioned that there was
Saya tak sabar lah bila keluar sneak peek baru ni.
for the North American
Dan bila benda baru kat SOC nak keluar ni.
Championship, so now we're
Eish.
going into VM Legacy.
Kena buat video lagi lah.
HTM Esports.
Tapi guys, korang jangan lupa tentang squad buster.
A lot of representation.
Adakah korang alert tentang squad buster ni guys? Game baru daripada Supercell. Caster 4 orang ni siapa abang paling minat? Encik Elok.
All the different teams that we've seen over the years.
Ada seorang lagi yang korang tak nampak, dia belakang kamera.
The strongest
Ah.
two-sided teams that we've seen from North America in a very
Jaga bukan dari HTM Sport Taiwan ke?
this match.
Maybe lah sebab dorang, saya tak ingat lah.
Gonna be a stellar one.
Adakah
What an opportunity for VM Legacy. They've been able to sit back
dorang
and
ataupun
watch all 5 other qualified teams competing
orang
so
lain?
far. Getting a nice
Minta maaf, saya tak ingat sangat lah. Saya minta maaf kalau yang tanya tentang tim-tim e-sport ni. Saya minta maaf lah. Ada yang saya kenal, ada yang saya tak apa kenal, ataupun saya tak apa ingat.
make any last minute tweaks to their trap design. What they can do in the end is up to what
Tim Malaysia ada ke? Tak ada.
but VM Legacy now
Tak ada satu pun tim Malaysia yang main serius.
sit back, relax, consider their options, and from the upper bracket,
Dan tak ada orang muda yang
what to expect
perform
from HTM
kat Malaysia ni.
Seen them already go up against
Bukan tak ada langsung lah, ada.
get the victory.
Tapi setakat manager attack je.
Certain thing that might have been
diorang tak menyelah sangat dalam dunia kompetitif ni. Sebab nak main dunia kompetitif ni bukan setakat kau kena pro, tak, kau kena branding sekali. Diorang ni pro player ni, diorang main pro satu hal, dan diorang branding, diorang bina nama diorang, selahkan nama diorang untuk direkrut oleh tim-tim yang agak ternama lah untuk main dengan pro player lain. Terus main tak, Navi tak ada, Navi DQ. Tim Indo ada ke? Qualifier mungkin ada, tapi tak lepas lah saya rasa. Indo bagi saya agak bagus. Diorang ada banyak tim kompetitif yang cuba untuk main sampai qualifier, tapi setakat ni saya rasa diorang tak cukup lagi padu untuk sampai ke qualifier. Sebab nak sampai ke tahap qualifier ni sangat-sangat susah. Kau bayangkan kau kena berebut dengan beribu-ribu tim dekat dunia ni. Okey, sebab dekat COC ni untuk tournament official dia tidak mengikut region. Okey, dia tidak ada qualifier mengikut region. Dia punya qualifier terus global. Jadi peratus untuk layak tu sangat-sangat rendah. Sangat-sangat orang kata tinggi level kompetitif dia tu. So memang susah lah kita nak nampak tim Asia Tenggara yang layak. Tim Asia ada lah, China, Japan, yang tu lah padu, Korea. Tiga negara ni memang padu lah. Tapi untuk Southeast Asia memang sangat susah nak nampak. Kalau ada pun mungkin satu player yang bermain di tim pro lah, kalau ada lah. Tim negara mana je campur-campur. China ada, Perancis ada, Brazil ada, campur-campur. Dan sekarang ni kita nampak Nick menggunakan naga dengan giant arrow dia gunakan untuk dapatkan sweeper di situ. Terus digunakan wall ability dengan healing tome untuk naga Rebecca Blame yang pergi ke arah Town Hall sekarang ini. Rage Spray lepaskan dan clone spell untuk Bellum dapatkan poison tower, tapi Town Hall jadi musnahkan Bellum tersebut dengan mudah. Kita ada free spell dilepaskan di kawasan Eagle sekarang ni dengan King ability di kawasan bawah. Di depan Queen, Royal Champion belum dimasukkan. Itu dia, di kawasan kiri Royal Champion dilepaskan oleh Biao. Ada satu skeleton spell untuk digunakan di kawasan Queen defensif saya rasa, kerana ada single inferno di situ. Yap, lepaskan skeleton spell terus. Dan saya rasa 3 bintang kemantapan untuk Nick. Cantik kemas serangan beliau ini. Masa telah berlalu 1 minit. Terus gunakan Royal Champion ability, free spell untuk Queen defensif. Queen dapat yang cannon dan beliau dapat rata dalam masa 1 minit 15 saat. Ataupun sebelum 15 saat. Wow, 1 minit 13 saat. Damn. Wow, 1 minit 13 saat untuk Nick. Sangat-sangat mantap. Itu tak nak try ke? Saya bukan pro player bang. Aki Syakir, thank you for follow. Kemantapan guys yang mana follow, terima kasih. Ni nama apa ni? Ada tulisan pun memang tak faham tulisan nama ni, nama apa ni? Syazraimi, thank you for follow. Mantap kali. Berapa tim lagi main? Kita akan nampak 2 lagi match. So total 4 tim lah. What up? What down? Dari VM Max sekarang ni. Super Bowl Breaker dilepaskan oleh beliau di kawasan atas. Sis Berak pada rajam 12 dengan Road Rider dimasukkan di kawasan kiri base sekarang ini. Terus dia gunakan King ability. Wih, dia guna King kayu doh, apa ah? Dia guna King kayu doh. Gila guna King kayu sia. Aku tak boleh cast lah ni. Aku kena mempertikaikan kenapa King kayu digunakan oleh VM Max. Kenapa doh kau guna King kayu kat situ doh? Kenapa doh? King kayu doh. Gila lah. Kalau dia guna King kepala kotak tu boleh terima lagi. Tapi ni King kayu doh. King kayu mat. Kayu. Oh, zaman kayu. Royal Champion. Adakah ability? No ability. Dapat Town Hall. Okay. Seminit 10 saat. Seminit. Oh wow, seminit 10 saat daripada VM Max. Jadi gunalah King kayu guys untuk menjadi seperti VM Max. Bapak laju Syah King kayu dia. Ya, sekarang ni ada sedang menonton tournament F1 lah. Ya, faster semua attack sekarang ni. Nak buat macam mana? Kita tengok F1 ni kan. Kita bukan tengok COC. Bola tu pun menang bola. MC kalah ke? Bapak noob si MC. Bapak ah. MC kalah 2-1. Bapak ina tu. Bapak ina. Memalukan MC kalah. Kalah dengan nombor 8 Liga bapak ah. Chinese Malaysia tak ada ke yang main? Main ada je. Tapi tak tahulah diorang masuk tak kompetitif ni. Sebab saya rasa Chinese Malaysia pun banyak yang dah berusia yang main pun. Tak banyak orang muda main. Borak apa pula? Borak bola lah. Ada bola tadi. Dah habis bola. Bukan tim saya yang main saya tak ni MC banyak makan lemah lepas main PL. Aduh. Alan banyak main COC ni. Siuk lah Alan. Okay, dia stress tak settle lagi challenge yang nombor 12 tu. Kita ada agent 3-3 untuk STM Esport dengan Queen kawasan bawah sekarang ni. Tidak digunakan overgrowth spell untuk agent 3-3, tapi race spell sekarang di kawasan tengah. Queen cuba untuk dapatkan monolith. Queen ability terus digunakan sekarang. Dapatkan monolith. King masuk di kawasan dalam. Semua keluar daripada Sis Barret sekarang ini. Warden mempunyai healing tome untuk membekalkan nyawa untuk hero-hero dan truk beliau. Tapi telah pun habis healing tersebut. Royal Champion di kawasan kiri. Nampaknya masa tidak begitu pantas untuk agent 3-3. Nampaknya Queen masih lagi hidup. Dapat Royal Champion defensif kurang-kurangnya. Royal Champion cuba dapatkan Reaction Cannon sekarang ini. Dan seminit setengah lebih untuk agent 3-3. Dapat 3 bintang dalam serangan ni.
Yeah, that's right. He's not happy with this one. He is not getting that quick time, but he's getting the first star. His average time before in the first couple of stages of
Seminit
qualifier
24 saat. Lamanya.
the average time. That's super impressive.
Slow ni ya. Masa kena kira ke? Ya bang. Kan saya dah kata ini F1. Masa kena kira bang. Ini F1 bang, bukan COC.
Number 1 on this average fastest attacking list, it's Darkstar with 1 minute and 15 seconds, and he is up next, and Nick has to defend now.
Nick, who's able to dish out the 3 stars, but will he take them?
Abang fastest time berapa? Saya rasa paling cepat saya pernah attack. Kalau yang max lah dekat Legend Attack tu, yang betul-betul max punya seminit 20 lebih tu kot. Tak ingat. Kalau sangat attack tu, memang itu cara main sekarang. Jadi sekarang ni Darkstar masuk dengan rider di kawasan kiri, King di kawasan kanan sama dengan Queen. Saya sebelah gunakan healer puppet. Yep. Queen dapatkan Reaction Cannon. Overgrowth di kawasan Town Hall. Warden di kawasan dalam. Okey. Tapi race pun lepaskan di kawasan kiri. Agak struggle untuk rider dapatkan Ice Golem tersebut. Tapi Royal Champion telah pun digunakan ability-nya. Race pack dilepaskan di kawasan tengah untuk Royal Champion dan juga King yang masih lagi hidup. Seminit 13 saat ataupun seminit 3 saat telah pun berlalu. Royal Champion di kawasan bawah. Adakah bawah seminit 15 saat? 5 saat lagi tinggal. Tornado Trap telah pun habis.
below the 1 minute and 20
Seminit 17, 16 saat.
that VM Legacy is staying
Seminit 16 saat.
front of HTM.
Wow.
The triple once again secured here now. We are staying high and dry.
Saja event halang semua kalau attack lumba masa semua tu.
Now into the mid-war. Dark Star with another incredibly fast attack. It seems like the average attack speed for the winning teams has been in kind of the 1 minute and 20.
Nampaknya VM Legacy
range. So far,
punya performance sama level dengan apa ni?
faster than that.
Sama level dengan apa ni nama ni? Nama tadi apa tu? Apa nama dia? Nama dia DZ Sport, yes. Sama level dengan DZ Sport.
And keep the clock running.
Pis hilang apa tu pis hilang?
Who's used overgrowth in the past to try to keep that town hall shut down. So it's going to
Muhammad Rahman ke Rahmun ke
keep that strategy
Rahmin Muhammad Rahmat, thank you for follow.
with a 15-second differential
Rigo Torres
on their
untuk STM Esport.
It looks like he did
Muhammad Naziro, thank you for follow.
once again here. Rigo Torres with a pretty standard equipment lineup and pets looking pretty on the
Jadi sekarang ni
starts
masuk Royal Champion di kawasan di antara King dan juga Queen.
Risk with his Astra. I mean,
Oh,
ideally,
King tak masuk kawasan dalam.
with the Archer Queen
King beliau tersalah laluan. Oh, King masuk balik. Okey. King masuk balik, entap.
Peter Puppet, so there is no second chance
Poison sekarang ni overgrowth kawasan tengah.
that she's somehow surviving off damage.
Queen akan dapatkan Eagle.
Everything looks solid. Blue Drive's going around the top side. The King slowly making his way towards the core. And interestingly enough, he's using a double
Royal Champion mana Royal Champion?
tower,
Royal Champion dekat bawah King tak nampak ah. Kipak King besar sangat.
of poison towers instead.
Scatter spell kawasan bawah.
the overgrowth and will continue
Ada satu race spell untuk digunakan.
both sides along this core, leaving that monolith of multi-inferno.
Freeze Tower sekarang ni.
Ricochet cannons
Race spell untuk Royal Champion.
lot of damage that's going to get dished out now to the
Free spell telah pun habis. Tower dimusnahkan oleh beliau. Adakah Royal Champion telah pun mati? Yep.
multi-infernos are going to
Royal Champion mati.
still has quite a few defenses.
Rigo Torres dalam bahaya sekarang ni.
Marines are now charging in from the outside to try to help out a little bit here, but where have the heroes gone? It's
Adakah 2 bintang untuk Rigo Torres?
bottom side to try to get the space finished off, and she's got a lot of walls.
Pas cover breaker.
This is looking pretty
Queen dalam
nice
bahaya.
HTM.
So gunakan Queen ability sekarang ni.
That good for them. Queen though with the frozen arrow equipment.
Lepaskan
Quite a bit of damage and
api area di kawasan atas. Dapatkan ricochet cannon.
it's still. But
Queen masih lagi hidup.
either way, not on the fastest
Seminit
side.
15 saat tinggal untuk beliau.
Is good and
Queen hilang healer sekarang ni. Bahaya untuk Queen. Mungkin 2 bintang untuk Rigo Torres. Tak pasti kerana mati Inferno boleh dapat. Oh, Jaya Boom keluar. Dan 2 bintang untuk Rigo Torres.
Inching forward.
Tornado Trap. GG.
Stuck in a tornado trap, and that's
GG. Memang 2 bintang untuk beliau.
an opportunity for the Inferno Tower to burn her
Waalaikumsalam, selamat datang. Gila level tournament, yes. Tournament SOC kalau tengok yang World Championship ni memang level dia memang tinggi lah. Sebab dia tidak ada qualifier untuk setiap region. Okay, dia tak sama macam game-game lain. Kebanyakan ni setiap region ada qualifier. Tapi untuk COC dia terus global. That's why untuk tournament COC ni dia punya level sangat-sangat tinggi. Sebab tu sangat-sangat susah untuk main COC punya tournament.
poison towers, but VM Legacy on this one used the rage tower and
Elah, admin ni memang suka tengok muka Rigo Torres ke apa. Dah 2 kali ni dia termenung kat Rigo Torres je. Tadi pun sama.
cannons. All of those defense together made this base defend in the end, and having the 99% defense is giving them a huge lead. They're in the lead on stars.
Jadi sekarang ni kita ada Ninja.
on time as well, which means they are good to go for the couple of the rest of the attacks.
Peluang besar untuk VM Legacy.
next attacker for VM Legacy. Moving in now against Rigo Torres. Haven't just seen his attack crumble. Will the defenses do the same? It's going to be another Root Rider assault.
Jadi seperti Imran,
Take a peek here as
dia bermain di atas
at the
katil.
hero equipment as we get them set up over here on the right
Baca
side.
komen YT dia orang cakap meta spamming Rider miss 15 lira.
Assault.
Semua kata boring je tinggal star.
Able to jump over
Yep,
the walls
memang
as well.
saya pun boring.
Ninja setting up his Root Riders on the top side now, giving them plenty of support from that Grand Warden and ready to pop.
Tapi kita attack susah je full star. Senang je bang. Malu bang kalau attack susah 3 star juga ni bang. Aduh bang. Serius. Malu bang. Mesti dia rasa bersalah. Tak bang, dia rasa happy sangat bang.
But surely Ninja's going to have an easy way to whack back and finish it off. He finishes that
Gurau.
monolith there in the core as well.
King dapatkan key defensif.
Phoenix will pick him back up.
Mana Root Rider dia? Kat atas. Oh, sangkut dengan Queen. Sibuk lawan Ice Golem. Okey.
Yeah, but getting the job done, which is the most important thing, as the Root Riders are pushing.
Tak kuat maintain mang out ah.
Queen has to still deal with that town hall, but
Maintain satu hal.
really soon as well. And with still the Queen ability on the table, it should go down then eventually. Another rage, freeze, everything is
Okay, free spare Tahang sekarang ni. Respect terus untuk Royal Champion. Tahang jadi 3 bintang. Dapat dikutip dengan masa 1 minit 28 29, 30 saat 31 saat. Navi join ke? Navi DQ. Tak ada skill lah kiranya spamming Root Rider. Yang penting full star. Nak kata tak ada skill, kalau tengok balik yang layak dekat qualifier pun orang tim-tim lebih kurang tak? Orang-orang yang selalu main tournament zaman-zaman dulu juga. Jadi nak kata tak ada skill tu agak tertanya-tanya lah. Kenapa kalau tak ada skill, tapi kenapa orang yang masuk tournament ni ataupun tim-tim yang lebih kurang sama masuk dekat qualifier sampai qualifier stage yang terakhir lah. Macam sekarang ni qualifier stage terakhir untuk bulan ni. Itu persoalan saya. Yes, memang meta spam, betul. Saya tak menafikan benda tu. Memang bosan, yes bosan. Tapi kenapa tim-tim yang lebih kurang juga? Yang mana tahun-tahun sebelum ni pun mungkin ada muka baru, tapi kalau korang main kompetitif, korang mungkin kenal sebenarnya diorang ni. Diorang mungkin pernah masuk qualifier tapi fail sekali, tapi diorang pernah. Okey, itu persoalannya. Kalau nak kata tak ada skill, spam semata-mata, kena jawab soalan tu dulu lah. Jadi Muhammad Marawi gunakan lalu sekarang ni untuk STM Esport. Jadi sangat pantas yang dilakukan oleh beliau, di mana lalu dia masuk di kawasan bawah, hero di kawasan atas. Bawah 2 minit telah pun habis defensif, kita boleh kata. Tinggal hanya 2 balon, free spec Eagle dan Singi Inferno sekarang ni. Dan Muhammad Marawi dapat 3 bintang dengan sangat-sangat mudah tanpa membunuh Titan defensif. Seminit 15 saat 13 saat. Wow, 1 minit 13 saat untuk Muhammad Marawi. Ini mesti idola gadis-gadis sikit adalah kulit putih, handsome, badan sado pula tu.
And he did that even impressively enough versus a defending Electro Titan, which is not easy.
Kenapa dah VQ? Sebab ada seorang player dia melanggar terma COC. Tak silap saya dia sharing ID. Okay, sharing ID, that's why dia kena DQ dan dia kena ban setahun. Jadi mungkin korang tahulah siapa yang kena ban tu. Dari Asia ada yang lulus, ada China, Japan, tapi bukan tim lah. Beberapa player dari India pun ada sikit. India ke Pakistan dia ada tu. Muhammad Marawi tu Asia tu, Pak Arab tu. Itu dia, the king of Hot Rider, Sinte. Tapi dia tak guna Hot Rider, dia gunakan naga. Sebab Hot Rider tak cukup laju, tak dapatkan 3 bintang. Jadi naga dimasukkan di kawasan atas sekarang ini untuk Sinte. Dengan clone spell untuk belum dapatkan defensif di kawasan tengah.
instead of those reliable
dan mungkin memudahkan perjalanan naga beliau untuk tidak berada di dalam Poison Town Hall.
base set by Mohamed Marawi. He's done a pretty dang good job so far at being able to
2
finish
free
off,
spell
lots
dia
of
gunakan,
different
tinggal hanya satu saja dengan
defenses.
Poison
At times,
spell.
Monolith could be
King
causing
dapat
some
Eagle.
problems, but not much,
Naga
value for
dapat
the
Clan
splashing
Castle.
defenses here
Yup.
so far.
Jadi
Scatter
Poison
shot
boleh
firing away
digunakan
from
untuk
Dragons.
Queen
It does take
defensif.
out 2 of them in the core of the base, but there's still so many left protected by that Grand Warden on the bottom side. Now swooping
Di manakah
their way
Queen?
in
Oh, ada di
and
kawasan
engaging that
kiri.
Archer Queen now.
Jauh
Poison
Queen.
spell as well, it's
Sedikit rugi di situ. Free spell ke Cannon sekarang ni, dan juga scatter shot mungkin boleh digunakan AC ability. Dia trap untuk Royal Champion. Cynthia dapat 3 bintang. Tapi masa berapakah masa yang dikutip oleh beliau di sini? 1 minit 13 saat. 15 saat telah pun berlalu. 1 minit 20 saat telah pun berlalu sekarang ini. Minit 25 saat. 30 saat telah pun berlalu. Minit 36 saat untuk Cynthia. Not bad, not bad. Still aku kata not a good attack, but yeah, not bad. Tak cukup laju dia punya attack. Zikon, thank you for the follow. Kenapa base diorang lebih kurang sama memang gitu? Itu adalah pattern base ataupun pattern design. Design base ni dipanggil box base. Dan kita tak boleh kata sama sebab pattern sama ataupun jenis yang digunakan sama bentuk dia, tapi susunan defense tu main peranan. Susunan defense, susunan trap tu semua main peranan lain.
It's going to be Electro Dragons from Ghost here, Itsu.
We have not seen those too many, I would say. Yes, sometimes like
Si Spen, thank you for the
we see
gift.
some of those Electro Dragon attacks.
Jadi sekarang kita ada, ya, ini dia idola
Used a lot.
Primato Clasher.
Insanely quick as well. If those chains can get all the
Dari Endo atau boleh ada kan? Tak ada. Enggak ada.
with those single third
Ini
towers,
dia.
it seems that so far he's not freezing
Combo
them.
idola
Electro
Primato
Dragons
sekalian.
are gone.
Janganlah skip live ini.
Drop early on, and Ghost is
Namun
gonna,
tekan butang follow
tempo here as he tries to
dan juga
listen
tekan
in,
butang
getting
bintang
more cues as to how to make
untuk
this
menjadikan
attack go right. Single target Infernos can burn up those
naga biru anda
dragons
lebih
and heroes
kemantapan.
pretty quick, so it's important to finish those off, but still has to worry about a monolith along the backside.
Nama Cina, thank you for the gift.
Doing some
Thank you for
excellent
follow.
work as well, but punishing defenses have just burnt through a lot of the hit points on these dragons so far. Can the Hog Riders storm through and finish off the remainder of the space and keep these big, heavy hit point attackers safe from the monolith? Yes, they can, knocking it down. They've got nothing to say against the skeletons on the ground, and it's just going to be up to freezes and the remaining hero damage to try to knock apart this bottom corner.
Jadi mungkin makan
Ghost has
masa
got a
lama
solid
untuk
shot at
Ghost.
making this 3-star finish happen, but so far behind
Tapi 3
on
bintang
top,
untuk
HTM
beliau.
Esports is gonna have to
Tak rata
rely
ni.
on a
Cuma masa
defense
lewat sikit.
against VM Legacy, Itsu.
Rata je.
Yeah, he says
Masa
the
je lambat
ability, he says the king in front of his queen to make sure that there is some protection. But the base has to still go down. But with not having that many key defenses left, that should be no problem whatsoever, especially with the queen ability. And
Nice
it is
try
two
daripada
of
Ghost.
those healers staying
Tapi tak
alive to
cukup
keep
untuk
that king
meletakkan,
and queen alive.
HTM Esports di depan.
Troops up there as well. Nice recovery after an interesting start, I want to say. I really was surprised about those flanking single throne towers and no freezes for those elected dragons because he did not catch all of them inside that water.
2 minit 5 saat untuk Ghost. Let's try. Sekarang kira masa ke untuk menang? Kebanyakannya memang kira masa disebabkan 3 bintang terlalu mudah. Disebabkan 3 bintang terlalu mudah, jadi masa akan menjadi penentu.
Ghost with a 2-minute and
Tiebreaker lah
5-second
panggil.
3-star strike has done all he can to try to finish this off as a win for his squad. It's up to Fluxy, the last attacker for VM Legacy, the clutch hitter coming in the final hour to try to secure victory. Fluxy has done it before, but he's missed in the past as well. He's a world's caliber
Sound tak kuat sangat ni kan?
It came down to a chance
Aku harap
for
korang dengar
trying
lah
to
sikit at least.
secure a victory.
Cuma tak nak bagi kuat sangat lah. Sebab dia sebab kita buat lah macam watch party kan.
Or if he has used that experience to come back in over the top and prove that he is one of the best in the world. It's going to be Mass Dragons making his move. Let's see it happen, Itsu.
Yeah, we have that blimp again flying towards that town hall. The Dragons are doing so far a great job of taking down all of those first defense. The Town Hall is going down with that Monolith together. That was his big goal. As this Queen with her healers, our deck is going around the top side. There is a wall break, so the Queen can actually reach into this Expo, where the King is carrying out that entire bottom side, which is a ton of value for him.
Yeah, the King is really not having to worry too much about walls at all as he's shutting down every single building that he can along the backside. Huge giant gauntlet smashing through these defenses. And the Electro Owl of all critters is going to get that kill against the Inferno Tower up top. Fluxy's holding on to a spare poison that he didn't have to use, but he'll chug some water and say, you know what? I can make it look easy. 3 stars from VM Legacy secures the perfect war. And they've done it. Moving on in the upper bracket.
Yeah, really nicely done. VM Legacy, the team which EA Esports said that they are scared about and they see as their biggest threat. So this is their victory and they're making it to the next round in the upper bracket, which is just so crucial. We have said it many times again, staying in this upper bracket gives you the second life in the finals then, which is such a big advantage. There were not many teams who were able to come back from the lower bracket, and this means
Gila laju dia attack guys, minit 3 saat tu.
bracket is even more worth
Mak ai. Kalah ambil stepper ni. Kasti hilang, sorry saya punya ni cooldown tadi, so saya tak boleh cakap. Saya punya audio dia cooldown, ada problem sikit. Ming, thank you for the gift. Terima kasih pada support.
They are going to be moving on up top, and for once in my life, I can make a correct prediction in these.
Tadi dia guna apa idrak guys, saya terlepas lah. Apa efek box base ni kebiasaannya? Bukan efek lah, dia lebih kepada nak defend apa. Tapi sekarang ni saya tak boleh cakap sangat dia defend untuk apa, sebab memang sekarang ni punya meta apa-apa jenis base pun senang rata, cuma yang membezakan mungkin perjalanan truk. Dah habis ke? Dah habis ke guys? Aku rasa belum lagi kan? Dah habis lah Mass Dragon tadi. Sebab tadi saya punya audio tadi dia cooldown, jadi saya tengok pasal audio saya tu yang aku dah tak dengar suara saya tu, so saya terlepas lah highlight tadi. Paling rendah berapa minit tadi? 1 minit 3 saat tu. Itulah paling cepat. Paling cepat untuk malam ni 1 minit 3 saat. Gila betul.
Showing some more Hog Rider skill out in front of those heroes, marching through the base. I mean, these were very quick attacks all around.
Ni attack ni.
I think it's
Gila.
the ones that show creativity using not just Hog Riders, but something else to rip through the base. Dragons up top, dropping spells.
1 minit 3 saat mat. Wow.
That's what gives me the confidence that these guys.
Aku rasa VL Legacy lawan dengan apa tadi? Lawan dengan DZ esok dia pun confirm rancak gila ni. Tobat lah.
Rigo Torres coming in with a 2-star in the high 90s. And the MVP vote by 49% is going to go to Fluxy. Clearly has a lot of fans out there.
Esok kita akan lihat VM Legacy lawan dengan DZ. Confirm rancak gila. Aduh, Fluxy punya attack ni 1 minit 3 saat guys. Gila. Ada WJPC SOC ada ada bagi free skin tak? Free skin saya tak ingat ada ke tak. Free skin setakat ni tak ada lagi tak salah saya. Pangkas pun tak ada tak salah saya.
We finally did it, and VM Legacy is going to be advancing.
Tapi rasanya dekat YT dia orang, YT official ada kot. Mungkin buat macam giveaway. Giveaway drop tiba-tiba dia bagi link skin. Siapa cepat dia dapat. Tapi skin tu memang susah nak dapat. Sebab dia siapa cepat dia dapat tu je. Keluar je link dekat chat tu, terus habis. Siuk betul.
Remember, they're going to want to try to get perfect wars, and because one mistake, like we saw, can literally be the difference maker. So very nice attempt there from HTM, but they still have another opportunity to try to make their way back through the lower bracket and eventually make it to a grand finals, which
Kita ada satu match lagi ya guys. Stay tune.
ticket. And of course, you come in second place, it'll be a silver ticket. But now, let's get ready for this next match, which is going to be Savage Elite on the line, taking on EA.
Nak beli mahal.
That matchup, I would have never
Saya akan buat
expected
giveaway
this to
nanti.
be the lower bracket. That's just
Sebab
crazy.
seperti yang saya janjikan masa keluar video Halan tu, saya buat video tentang Halan COC. Saya janji dalam video tu saya akan buat giveaway. Kalau video sampai 100k view, alhamdulillah sampai. Nanti saya buat. Cuma saya tak pasti macam mana saya nak buat giveaway skin. Saya nak buat konten ataupun kontes macam mana. Saya nak buat kontes lah. Korang upload video and then tag saya, dan video yang mana paling rancak saya akan bagi inilah hadiah. Saya nak buat macam tu.
Very true.
Adakah
And
korang
you look
setuju,
at the
guys?
stat line, what caught my eye there was that the stat line was identical
Cuba komen.
between the two teams for the overall
Agak
averages, but we
idea
still
macam
have
tu
an Imran
okey bagi
with
korang.
100% hit rate. Very, very impressive showing there. But I like that early tax has the entire team at right around that. I guess only one player, I take it back, is under 90% there. So an 89% there for Leo. Both these teams' rosters are completely stacked. Like, this is going to be a crazy, crazy match. And it's unfortunate that one of these teams is going to be sent packing after
Contest
this one here,
kot.
because this next round is an elimination match.
Ya. Kalau korang ada idea kontes apa lagi? Selain daripada macam attack gempak ke apa ke. Kontes apa lagi? Cara dia yang macam saya cakap tadi lah. Upload video, tag saya guna hashtag something-something, yang dapat video like banyak ke ataupun video pilihan saya sendiri. Tapi konten tu konten nak kena apa? Video attack ke, like video like banyak ke, macam mana? Ada idea guys?
For early attacks against 42% for Savage Elite. Our world championship defending team, Savage Elite, has just not found their stride yet so far this year. With a qualification last month and again this month, but still no ticket in hand. It seems like they're struggling a bit and are needing to kind of catch their footing if they want to have that chance to make their way back up toward the top. They've got plenty of months to do it. But it seems like the fans out there are not thinking that this is going to be their month, Carbon.
Yeah, you mentioned plenty of months, but less opportunities in terms of golden tickets. Because like last year, there was 8 teams. Now, there's going to be only 6. So 2 less teams
One tak
are going to
boleh.
be competing in the World
Kalau tak
Championship
buat-
Finals.
buat
That's
ni.
why each and every one of these
Tapi
monthly
tak ada
finals
tawaran
is
dah.
even
1v1
more
susah.
important. Because they're going to have the
Nak
4
kena
monthly
buat
finals here. You're going to have the
tournament.
last chance
Yang payah
qualifiers
sikit
as
tu.
well. So everything is really coming down the line. You
Macam
don't
mana
want
nak
to
buat
waste
style
any
tournament?
opportunity. If you can take it this month, you absolutely want to. And once you get a golden ticket, then you
Kena
don't
buat
have to
macam
worry about it for the rest of the year. You can
video.
kick back, relax, and just wait to the World Finals, as we are now getting ready for an epic match here of Savage Elite taking on Early Attacks.
Yes, and that will be Eric and me taking this match, and hopefully it's going to be as exciting as those two names are, well, letting us guess that this match should be, because those two names, I said already, seeing those in the lower bracket, one of those two teams we're going to lose today already, which is mind-blowing. The world champion, or, well, the favorite for this qualifier for many players out there.
Yeah, early tax is definitely a difficult team to bring or to go against. However, we saw the Savage Elite. I think the biggest reason they lost the last war is because they got the 1-star, and I hope that they are still in the mindset that they will take the risk to be able to make sure that they get the fastest triples possible, make sure that they triple as often as possible, and it just shows you the confidence. But obviously, sometimes that confidence can come back to bite you.
Ayo game, tak ada ke? Tak ada cadangan ke? Seorang je.
But I have a lot of confidence
Yang lain macam tak minat je.
still with 4 out
Nak
of
ke
5
skin free,
of the
guys?
original members that went to
Tapi
the
bukan
World
skin baru
Championship.
lah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Cuma skin
Savage
shot sigak lah
Elite
kan.
is gonna be opening
Tak nak-
up this
tak nak skin
war
free.
with their first attack as they take on early attack. It looks like out of
Orang nak
the gate
bagi
we're
pun
gonna
tak
see
nak.
some root
Apa
riders.
ni?
We don't want to see them get burned with
Apa
root riders
ni?
again. We don't want to see the 1-star that put them in the lower bracket in the first place. We want to make sure that we go in and make sure we have every different part of the attack accounted for, and also keep it as fast as possible.
That's right, and with that King separate to that Root Rider smash, they're moving in. But there is some headhunters on that Warden, that might be a problem, but no, the Lizard, that is exactly why pros use the Lizard on that Warden. I see many players out there using the mass Root Rider attacks, but using Diggy or something like that on the Warden. No, you see exactly
Jadi
why
ya,
you use the
kena
Lizard on your
patuh
Warden.
sekarang
They're
untuk
just-
Savage Elite.
just so good versus defensive clan counter troops and versus defending heroes as he's moving into that defending Archer Queen.
Also helps here with the ground skellies. They're popping out of the ground down there, but the Valkyries in the mix also assist with that. But the
1 minit.
were left out of the overgrowth there deliberately.
10 saat telah pun berlalu. Free spell untuk Royal Champion. Free spell Town sekarang ni.
Back around, but a lot of the troops went past the core there, so they have a little bit of backtracking to do there to get back.
Mereka masih lagi hidup. Semua dia dapatkan bida hat sekurang-kurangnya. Royal Champion dapatkan Town Hall.
Right there in position this time. He's not
Minit
gonna bust
29 saat telah pun berlalu. Patuh dapat 3 bintang kali ni. Tapi masa sedikit lewat lah. Lebih pada 1 minit setengah untuk Patuh.
35 minute and 35 the open attack from our defending world champions.
Nice try daripada Patuh.
That's right. So not the
Patuh,
quickest
Patuh,
attack if we take a look at
Patuh.
how fast you need to be with those winning teams. But I think it's a solid start for Pato, who struggled a little bit in his first attack, to say the least. But it is now on the other side, early attacks, and they have really shown
Siput tunggu, thank you for
incredible
follow.
attacks in their upper bracket match. But can they repeat that in this lower bracket match versus Savage Elite? That is the big question. Pato now is on the defensive side versus Achilles.
And interesting that Achilles is going to be the attacking hero.
Jadi
He's also
Aquis
a Brazilian
untuk
player. He's played a lot
early attack sekarang ni.
with these Savage
289, thank you for follow.
Open up with a giant
YT
arrow
apa khabar? Korang dah subscribe belum ni YT? Senyap apa?
visibility tower by the tower hall.
Last comment sejak lepas tu.
Not gonna go off and cause any problems with tower takedown, but the Riders will go right
Last
towards the
check
tower
sejak
hall,
lepas tu.
leaving the artillery to the very end of the attack. But he'll jump to the right side, get the King to push over there with the Siege Barracks working out on his right flank, and the King will pop his ability giant talent, and the Rage Vow surge his way forward as the Root Riders are trying to get pushed over to the left side of the overgrowth, but he's ended up with a bit of a split. Half of the Root Riders are going left, half are going right, but the stronger group went right, and that means the Queen might be vulnerable on the left side there. We'll see how she plays through.
Really has to be careful with the rage and the phrases which he has left to protect that queen, or maybe even just pushes those Root Rider faster into
Ni Qualifier ke? Yes.
Thanos waking up again. We have seen that earlier already. The rage tower with all of those key defenses rage up, that can be a big difference maker. But currently it looks like that the Root Riders are strong enough to actually push through. The freeze is there to protect them. And the town hall is the last building, but it's going down. And Eric, this is an incredible quick attack.
This is very fast. Town Hall's going to drop eventually. Seconds counted away. 1 minute and 12 seconds of the clock there. And it looks like they're going to be locking in a very significant lead out of the gate there. So nice job, Achilles. Definitely putting the hurt onto his Brazilian counterparts over in Savage Elite.
Yeah, really good start for them, and now it's back to Savage Elite because they have to attack next, and they have to make sure that they're pushing this average time more in their favor. Leo against the team captain Yatta on the other side, the builder, as you said it, of the early attacks roster, and I think so far, I mean, Yatta has done an amazing job with that. Can he build bases though as well with his defensive team? That's the question, and we're seeing Root Riders again.
With the giant arrow as well. I saw the giant arrow and the queen there, so I'm always curious to see what he has planned for it. A lot of times we see giant arrow when they're trying to pre-trigger invisibility towers like we saw in the last attack, but I guess he might have a different plan for it. There it is. It shoots across the base and is able to trim out a couple of the buildings that are just one layer deep. Then he'll quickly collapse through those buildings and use those buildings being removed as a layer deep funnel, and we'll also keep the siege barracks on one side, the queen with the healer puppet on the other side, the king deploys out in front of her, and we've been seeing this approach here being used a lot by Savage Elite here during these previous matches, and we're going to see it again right here as he gets the funnel solidly set and will make his way to the
Tadi 3
core,
bintang.
but he still has to
Setakat ni
overgrowth
EA masih lagi mempunyai serangan pantas.
Town Hall and leave it under the
Overgrowth digunakan di kawasan Town Hall sekarang ni untuk Leo. Dapatkan Casey Cannon dahulu. Free spell di kawasan atas untuk Martis Tower. Ada satu lagi free spell dan satu lagi free spell untuk digunakan. Dan overgrowth sekarang ni ditunggu untuk habis masanya, dan itu dah 1 minit 10 saat.
but he's still getting 3 stars
Wow.
and still having
Minit 9 saat untuk Leo.
A very nice 69-second triple
Mantap
right
sekali
there.
serangan
He's
daripada
gonna
Leo.
put the
Serangan
pressure
pantas.
back over to EA now
Opa-opa
as
tadi
they
pro follow.
their average time down
Awak
to
macam
a
mudah
minute
je.
and 22 seconds. So
Memang
the clock there is
inilah
literally
COC
done.
sekarang.
And yeah, well, sometimes you're a little bit too efficient and you have to turn back around. Like you want to make so that overgrowth is lasting right up until you're ready to go back to the core. But if you're just a little bit too overpowered on the backside of the base there, then sometimes you got to sit there and wait. But as fast as that attack was, I think he's having to wait there to lock that one in at that attack time, and that's really going to set him up nicely. But that first attack that they did was rather on the slower side, so it does still leave the door open for early attacks to be able to sustain a lead here if Imran can get it done. But Imran is currently sitting at, I think, still 100% hit rate across the entire qualifier. Remember, that includes 30 wars for the ladder and then the double elimination bracket that they played through in the phase 2 of this competition. So he'll try to sustain it here as we go in with another Rider attack with lots of super barbarians to support on the backside and of course the overgrowth.
Yeah, he's still perfect with his hit rate, but he needs to be fast in this one as well, because so far both teams are looking incredible strong with their attacks, going directly into the invisibility tower, triggering that early, using the vulnerability now. But this means the Root Riders are going away from that Town Hall, and the Town Hall being activated, that might cause some problems, but there we go with the Overgrowth spell to make sure the Town Hall has no chance of firing back.
Yeah, and you know what? That actually is going to delay the invisibility tower from being able to rearm. And so by the time he gets back to the area there, the overgrowth will make so that the invisibility tower will start its countdown to reset. And so he's actually going to have a lot of time to work his way back in.
Ada Malaysia ke tak ada bang?
But he's circle all the way to the right side of the base there. The
Imran
is being reached right now and everything's staying very,
habis
very under control.
overgrowth
But
beliau,
also a lot of inherent
Teruk akan
risk
makan
will be
sedikit masa untuk berjalan di kawasan bawah.
all these defenses. And there's some big ones here that can still claim a lot of
Sepatutnya dia
improvements.
masuk daripada kawasan
Mainly the
belakang,
scat shot and the
bukan masuk daripada
monolith,
kawasan
but that you
atas.
have to have enough punch after
Sebab
all of that to be able to close
jauh
the
overgrowth
town
ni,
hall. And so
tengah
I
di
really
base
think
spell
that
lagi
the
ni.
most important troop that he keeps safe right now is the Queen. So he's got the freezes, he's got the rages.
Freeze.
Just got to keep an eye on her and make sure that
Sekarang ni
she
untuk
is able to step in
selamatkan
and take down the most important defenses.
ataupun memastikan invis spell tidak di refill.
Instead of freezing the monolith, but as well using the
Queen
freeze range
masuk kawasan
of
Town
taking
Hall.
down
Queen dia
the
ability
Spectre
sekurangnya.
as well to make sure
Kurang-kurangnya,
that
tapi sekarang ni masa
because that would
sangat-sangat
be really, really bad for him if it reloads.
bahaya untuk Imran.
Overall, this
Seminit
attack is not
35 saat,
fast
45 saat.
whatsoever. This
Wow.
is a quite slow attack with nearly
45
getting closer
saat
to the 2
untuk
minute mark, which is not optimal for early attacks.
Imran.
They had an incredible start into the match, but
Bahaya
falling
untuk
short
beliau.
with that time in
Yang
the second
mungkin
one. And this
menyebabkan
gives now
polata masa
17
akan bertambah dengan banyak
time,
untuk
even though the
early
stars
attacks.
are tied up.
A 6-second split between the average attack times there as that one goes in very slow. He will sustain his perfect record of always tripling all the way through, so his consistency pays off there.
Tiga keluar
But
ngeri.
the time, like that was a
Ya.
very unorthodox
Dia kena
approach
masa
to
lah
be able
sekarang
to go
ni.
into that base, and that time ultimately could cost them in the end. But still, they are able to sustain under 1 minute and 30, and that's about where they need to be. And now, the newest addition to the Savage Elite roster, the only player who was not on to their original 5 when they went to go play and win the World Championship last year. So it is going to be Bernal. He's been bouncing around through a handful of different teams throughout the last year or so, but he's found his home right here with his Brazilian counterparts, and we'll see if he can get it done with a giant arrow, setting it up. And I guess we'll set it up just like the last one there. Like Bernal, I feel like is the one who started to coin this approach here, where we use the giant arrow
Nama
to
dia
set
tinggi
both
pergi.
sides of the funnel for the Rebinders
Kita ada Bernal sekarang ni.
directly to the core.
Yeah, and that setup looks really, really good so far. I kind of like that there is some use cases now slowly evolving for some of those equipments which are not used that much. But this really, really nice idea of setting
Dengan
up
race spell digunakan di kawasan atas, tidak ada overgrowth.
Even though he gets to use the overgrowth
Okay,
spell,
overgrowth sekarang ni.
right now.
Yeah, use it to lock out the town hall so he doesn't take the blast, doesn't take the poison. He can circle back and deal with it a little bit later on. But once again, he's
King masih ada ability untuk digunakan di kawasan bawah. Benda trap untuk King sekarang ni. Kebanyakan benda trap letak di kawasan tepi base untuk mengganggu King saya rasa, untuk mengurangkan keberkesanan ataupun mengurangkan masa ability tu berjalan untuk King. Jadi ability akan dihabiskan masa untuk berjoget sahaja dalam tornado. Jadi itu adalah kegunaan tornado sekarang ni.
Really, really really impressive showing from
Tapi Bernal
making
tetap je
sure
dapatkan 3 bintang
that
dengan
he's
masih
getting
agak
this
pantas
clutch
minit 16
3-star
untuk beliau.
and clutch pass 3-star as well in this current position, as early attacks is struggling a little bit with their second attack, where they had quite a slow one. But this means Savage Elite have everything playing for them in this match, but now Leo has to make sure that he's somehow making the match close again with another fast, really fast 3-star.
So something I don't think a lot of people realize is we typically, when they play in esports sports, they start attacks at the 37-minute mark and then they alternate every 4 minutes. You'll notice that the pace as we're going through here is much faster than that. So as every attack is faster before your turn, then your turn comes sooner and sooner before the judges that run the tournament here are going to tell you to press attack.
Leo sekarang ni untuk early attacks dengan combo yang sama lagi. Kita melihat combo yang sama sahaja, tapi cara masuk berbeza untuk setiap pemain. Race pass sekarang ni kawasan tengah. Sis Berat ataupun Queen di kawasan atas. Overgrowth untuk Eagle dan juga Monolith. Jadi Queen kena dapatkan Town Hall. Freeze untuk Legacy Cannon di kawasan bawah. Jadi Queen kena dapatkan Town Hall. Rage untuk PK dengan Rider yang tinggal di kawasan tengah. Wih, sedikit lewat untuk dapatkan Town Hall. Royal Champion telah boleh gunakan ability untuk keluarkan Hot Rider. Minit 10 saat telah pun berlalu sekarang ni untuk Leo. Adakah Leo dapat 3 bintang dengan masih pantas? Wizard dapat Eagle. Minit 20 saat. Mantap sekali untuk Leo. Abdul Latif lagi 20.
It is on par with the average from Savage Elite and is going to improve it, but it is still going to be about a 15-second split between the teams, 5 seconds on average for the displayed numbers on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but this means that he's not really improving the time regarding the time of Savage Esports. The 1 second faster than the average of Savage Esports, Savage Elite is nice to have, but let's see if it's going to be enough, because now he's on the defensive side versus
Lawa skin hero. Ya.
Has to get that next 3-star
Suraga Sultan.
well, let's see what type of time
Padahal
it's going to be. I feel like at this point, as long as they're hitting in their average time, which is 1 minute and 20 seconds, they're good to go. I feel like they don't have to improve their time that much anymore, because they are already looking really solid.
Loop is an interesting player to see here because he was, for a little while, he was struggling. He was one of the weaker points on Savage Elite, but he has got the practice in, and he is quickly taking the tops of the boards there as far as their hit race goes. So he went from the bottom to the top there very quickly. So some extra practice definitely paying off there for him, and now he'll push his way in with reminders of his own. Getting the siege barracks to the bottom quarter, Queen to the right. King is trying to get through the jump spell, and the runners will get their way right to the top. But once again, when it gets these anti-2-star bases with the Town Hall in the middle, we want to overgrowth the Town Hall and clip the Town Hall with the overgrowth so that it is able to be re-engaged later on, and we don't have to go right through the poison. There it is right there, split away from it, and make so that he does not have to take any additional damage.
Lupi.
And he can coast into
Satu race spell dengan satu free spell lagi tinggal. Queen masih hidup di kawasan bawah. Oh, 2 free spell.
Risk that they do not have the force to make it back to the Town Hall, and they're accepting their risk every single time.
Yeah, there is always this risk. We have seen it many times in the past that the Town Hall on the back end can be a big threat. The Royal Champion now using her ability
Free spell Town Hall sekarang ni.
exactly like that.
Royal Champion ability terus digunakan.
To be honest, freezing up the Town Hall and just get out together.
Freeze Town Hall.
And that Town Hall is going
Minit 20 saat telah pun berlalu sekarang ini. Minit 20 4, 25 Baru tak 30 saat lebih. Minit 33 saat. Minit 30 saat 33. Sedikit lewat, tapi mungkin cukup untuk membuatkan mereka menang ataupun tak pasti.
Bit of time is going to have an impact on the overall match here, and every second is precious there. Like, you can't discount any individual second there? Is there anything that we could have done to speed things up? Was there
Jadi
anything you could have
NYU
done to reinforce that? I don't
dapatkan
think
3
we really
bintang
did
dengan
anything
masa yang
different.
sangat-sangat singkat. Adakah
Played it.
Elite Attacks akan layak pusingan seterusnya ataupun menjadi pasukan pertama untuk tersingkir dalam qualifier kedua ini? Jadi kita lihat NYU terus gunakan ability Wader di kawasan atas, King di kawasan bawah, terus gunakan ability sekarang ni masuk Royal Champion. Tidak boleh lepaskan breaker untuk Queen, tak pasti. Oh, sikit lewat breaker tersebut, tapi mungkin akan membantu Queen untuk masuk ke kawasan dalam. Queen dapat certain trap sekarang ni. Overgrowth sekarang untuk Town Hall. Agak sedikit jauh, tapi ada 2 lagi race spell untuk digunakan. Ada sedikit jauh dengan rider beliau. Race spell untuk rider di kawasan Legacy Cannon. Dia ada satu lagi free spell dengan Royal Champion ability untuk digunakan. Free spell Town Hall tidak, scatter shot dengan Poison Tower. Terus gunakan Royal Champion ability untuk mengaktifkan Royal Champion ataupun Hot Rider. Minit 15 saat telah pun berlalu. Queen sangkut dengan wall sekarang ni. Royal Champion dapat lari pantas. Super Hot Rider dapat. Minit 25 saat telah pun berlalu dan wow, adakah EA ada masa yang pantas untuk menyamakan kedudukan sekarang ini, guys? Tampaknya selepas ini adalah serangan terakhir. Setakat ini belum lagi. Setakat ini serangan keempat sahaja. Agak-agak EA menang tak, guys? Minit 24 saat.
That is just so close. And the crazy thing is, early attacks had this case already happened to them earlier in the upper bracket. And we had the last attacker, the team captain for early attacks, Yatta, falling short with his last attack. So can he recover that? Because, well, he will be the last attacker in this match again. But first, Cedinho is up next for Savage Elite, and they're trying to make sure that they're putting a statement with this next attack. 3-star, and it should be a quick one.
Roughly an 8-second split overall between the teams, meaning that
Queen ability dapatkan Super terus mantap sekali. Dan itu dia Cedinho menggunakan Naga. Dia mulakan di kawasan atas. Breaker untuk masukkan King. Spirit di kawasan atas membuat funneling yang baik untuk Naga beliau. Hunter mengejar Warden sekarang ni, dibantu oleh Naga untuk selamatkan Warden. King ability akan digunakan. Dapatkan scatter shot. Terus semua di kawasan bawah. Nampaknya overgrowth akan habis bentar saja lagi. Poison untuk Ice Golem. Royal Champion masuk di kawasan kanan.
But there is no dragons left in the core. The tower still has to go down, and Cedinho is struggling right now quite a bit. The tower is reactivated. The poison tower is about to shoot, and the monolith
Respect Town Hall sekarang ni. Naga sedikit jauh dengan Town Hall. Oh, dipanggil oleh King defensif. Bahaya sekarang ni. Queen ada ability. Queen dapat Town Hall. Minit 15 saat telah pun berlalu sekarang ni. Royal Champion dapat Legacy Cannon. Royal Champion dapat multi penuh. Minit 30 saat untuk Cedinho. Nampak muka seperti tidak cukup berpuas hati di situ untuk Cedinho.
And Yada has a chance for redemption. He needs to lock this one in around a minute and 20 to be able to take the win and overtake Savage Elite.
Jadi Yatta perlu kesangan pantas untuk cuba memenangkan early attacks di sini. Sangat-sangat sengit setakat ini kita boleh katakan untuk EA dan juga SE.
Is he going to 3-star? Is he going to be fast enough to get that 3-star in to give early attacks this victory against Savage Elite in such an incredible match in the lower bracket? Because for both teams, the entire tournament life is on the line. Whoever is going to lose this is dropping out of this month qualifier. Whoever is going to win this is still having the chance of staying alive. And Yatta is in with the Root Riders, and he's trying to move fast. He's trying to make sure that 3 stars are on the menu for him.
You lose this match, you walk
Ya
away
tak.
with $5,000. You
Dengan,
win it,
oh,
and the sky
agak
is the
bahaya,
limit.
Town
You
Hall
get
dekat
the
belakang
golden
macam tu.
ticket, you go and play for the $1
Main
million
bis towernya.
prize pool in the World Championship. Yada making his way forward. We got the Root Riders World Champion deployed early over to the right side to go support the Queen. Queen has her ability over there. The King deployed over to the far left side, and it's kind of a weird shaped base. Kind of a diamond-style base, lots of island-off defenses there, surrounded by non-defensive structures, so it makes it difficult for the Root Riders to get into those compartments, and it is a complicated base to approach here. I can see why they saved this one to the very, very end.
Champion lawan gelar bapak sekarang ni sedikit sibuk di situ.
Into the left side multi-inferno, and these Root Riders need to not only get this Eagle Artillery down, but they need to have enough punch to go past that, wait for the overgrowth, and then turn back into tanking. He's still set on a jump spell though, and he's got a lot of force moving, but he's lost.
Tak menarik tengok meta gelabah. Kita tengok meta pantas ni kita F1. Freeze Town Hall, tidak freeze Invis Tower. Okey, main mantap sekali. Queen ability terus digunakan. 1 minit 20 saat. 1 minit 25. 1 minit 20. 6 saat. 27. 28. 27 saat. Tak cukup ni. 1 minit 27 saat tak cukup untuk membuatkan EA menang. Jadi sayang sekali EA kalah. EA daripada seed pertama, seed nombor 1 untuk qualifier ni, menjadi tim yang pertama kalah ataupun tersingkir dalam qualifier ni.
What a crazy day for early attacks. I really feel bad for them because twice
Nice
they
try.
are getting into the perfect score. Twice Yatta has to somehow clutch it for his team, and twice he's falling short with the attacking time. Well, but that's how it is currently, and unfortunately he was just not fast enough.
Yeah, it was a really interesting base there as well. I can see why he was going to struggle with that one there. I mean, I gotta hand it to the base builders over in Savage Elite. It was the same base building team that was able to get them the World Championship last year and get them the incredible defenses they had there. And here they just do something, anything to slow these attacks down. And they slow it down just barely enough right there. So a tough base there. Yada still was able to get it done and get the triple, but he needed to do it just a couple of seconds faster. I think if he was 3 or 4 seconds faster, we'd be looking at exact tie right there. But that's a wild finish there to eliminate our first team from this World Championship qualifier.
Yeah, I think we should take a look at some of those highlights, because that has to be for sure one of the crazier matches which we have seen today. We had crazy start for both teams, then back and forth when it came down to time, who was in the lead, who was turning things around, but in the end it came down to the one attack, and well, Savage Elite clutching it out with their defense and getting that victory, staying alive in this competition because it was the lower bracket match, which means early attacks is the first team to drop out of this competition, which is a crazy surprise to me and I think to many others, because I think they were the qualifier favorites to some degree with their stats, with their showing, and it was not enough. Savage Elite though, making it to the next round in the lower bracket.
I think a lot of people were calling for early attacks to be able to take the golden ticket this month here. So yeah, it is crazy to see them as the first team to go out, and the fact that, like you said, they did it on 2 series of double perfect wars. So they performed, but that's the competition that they're under right here. You can't just get perfect wars. You gotta do it faster. You gotta take those wins in commanding fashion like that. And there is our average attack time push across the board there for the attack times of everybody. And we see that there were just a couple of slower ones in there that ultimately cost them. So it's actually the biggest impact in their times was the attack there from Imran, who had a 100% hit rate throughout the entire qualifier, and he sustained that, but unfortunately it wasn't enough there as he only put in 1 minute and 45. But we see that our MVP was Bernal. Bernal was the person in Savage Elite there that has been coining this new giant arrow setup for the Root Riders, and obviously it's effective, it's good, and he's been sharing that with his teams. The rest of his team has been using it to great effect as well, and it got them to the next round and to survive in the lower bracket here, Asu.
Yeah, it was really impressive to see those giant arrow tricks, which we have seen now for quite some time, combined with dragons, combined with root riders. But it was a crazy match to watch. So, Woody, what did you make out of this one, which was, I mean, I have to say it again, which was crazy up and down?
Man, I thought I'd seen close wars before. Even just today, we've seen wars that I thought were going to be close, but this one, truly, down to the very last attack, down to the very last few seconds, we didn't even know what the result was going to be until it came up on the screen. So having to total every single building, every single second, that is what it takes to get to the top of the Clash of Clans esports scene. Eric, I'm sure your sentiment is much the same, but let us know. I mean, what were you thinking from that last war?
I mean, you expect two teams of that caliber to play at that level, and they did. I think they delivered exactly what we expected them to, and I think that war was exactly what everybody expected, but we just didn't know which way it went out. Was that a surprise result to you, Carbon, or you're thinking that Early Attacks was going to take that?
I mean, it really could have gone either way. I did pick Early Attacks in the prediction, and of course I was wrong yet again. And Savage Elite showing why, you know, they're defending world champs, and it's gonna be really tough to eliminate them from a competition like this. And they're gonna do their absolute best to try to earn a golden ticket, to try to make it back, to try to defend their crown. They have a long way to go, but let's take a look at the bracket now here to see exactly where we stand. So we are now going to be going into match number 6. Milliseam MG taking on HTM Esports. This is the last match today. One of them will be going home, and then we will have all the final remaining matches tomorrow to find who is getting that golden ticket. Yeah, and Milliseam dropping out of this upper bracket versus Dizzy. They had incredible stats, but again, versus HTM Esports, it won't be an easy match between those two. And then they have to face Savage Elite in the next round, whoever is going to win this. It's not going to be an easy road for them whatsoever. But let's take a look at the predictions now from us on the caster table and see who is currently... Well, let's see how it's looking currently, because Eric is making a comeback. Woody, Carbon, you had one right, which is nice. Carbon trying to go with the crazy pick in the last match, and well, I gotta make a comeback somehow, you know? Yeah, I feel like you should take this away. Why, in your opinion, is HTM going to clutch it out in this last match? Great question. Just because I've got a gut feeling. I just got a feeling, you know? I feel HTM may take this one, and I'm trying to make my comeback in the prediction. I mean, really, the only way I can make a comeback is because I'm assuming you guys were going with MMG, and it looks like you were. So I gotta make a comeback this way, and so hopefully we'll see, because this is gonna be the final match, and there's gonna be a lot of great attacks to come in, and all of you watching at home, let's see your predictions, and they are, they're on HTM Esports side here too. Well, maybe they have a feeling as well. I hope it's not the same feeling as the predictions that you had earlier, but as long as that's on the table, I think you're good to go. But yeah, HTM, they have so many veteran players on their lineup. I feel like it's not really surprising that they have this voting on this one. It's going to be a really close and hopefully another fun match to watch, but that should be, well, veterans. I mean, veterans are kind of on both sides. Would you not say so, Eric?
Yeah, I think you don't reach this match if you're not a veteran. Like, it's interesting every single time we go into these wars, because you look at all the different players that are involved, and you have the entire world that was able to sign up. Like, literally anybody watching right now, you could sign up for the next one and you could play the next World Championship qualifier. But these are the teams that remain when everybody has the option to jump in and play and test their mettle to see if they can go after the golden ticket themselves. And it seems like the same handful of players always seem to rise to the top, and it just goes to show the testament of their skill is able to give them what they need to reach here repeatedly. And HTM is actually the underdog in the stat line here. Higher percentage, but lower on the stars, just slightly. Like, it's a 0.1, so probably only like one miss throughout all the wars. It's the only difference between the teams right there. But Muhammad Marawi still holding a 100% hit rate there for HTM, and the rest of the team is a lot of them in the 80s there, and hopefully they can reinforce those mistakes that they had previously and come in strong in this war here, and we'll see what happens there, Woody.
Well, out of 50 attacks that we've seen so far today across the 5 wars, 47 of them have been 3 stars. It's a 94% hit rate overall for our top teams. And man, if they show us another perfect war, I would not be surprised at all. These are 2 amazing squads that have done really, really well so far, despite their losses. I mean, these are both teams now that are in the lower bracket, but I think that we saw a pretty clear pick from the casters, and I guess the fans out there had a pretty decisive pick as well, even though, you know, Carbon sat out and the rest of the casters up here were going MMG. There's an excellent opportunity from HTM to upset and to give us another awesome performance. So I'm really looking forward to this next one, and I'll toss it back to you, Carbon, before we get into this match. Any other final thoughts, any other words of encouragement for your team that you've picked before they get started?
Mine's just going to be defense, right? Can they hold MMG to a fail? Because the HTM, they did get that I believe it was the perfect, but in terms of time, wasn't on their side. So can they get the 3-star? Can they, or at least it was 1 fail in the previous war, where it was like a 99%, I think it was, from Riga Torres. But that's all it takes. They're just looking for a defense. They got a really good base builder, Ghost, on their side, so he's going to be looking to help try to cause 1 fail from, which they're most likely going to see, Root Riders, right? That I'm assuming they're testing and testing and testing. And Itsu, you have experience with bases. What do you think is the approach when they build a base trying to defend against Root Riders? Do you think they're trying to defend it versus stars, or more just trying to slow them down?
I feel like versus the best players currently, you can mainly build to slow them down. I feel like currently something we see a lot is core town hall level, or like core town hall placements, with then surrounded by some walls or having some type of dead zone around it, because this makes sure that sometimes the town hall is getting skipped in a way that it's really either forcing a 1-star, as we have seen earlier today, or it's forcing a really slow time, because the king, for example, or some other Valkyries or any other melee troops cannot reach it, and they're having to wait for either the queen to attack the town hall, or for example the Root Riders open up the town hall compartment, and that can really then slow them down and really make sure that time is then maybe on their side and not on the other team. That's, I guess, what we see the most from those 2 teams when it comes down to base building on the defensive side, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the smallest little things there, like we saw in the previous bases there. You see like a couple of spring traps right on those perimeter buildings there, where you expect the super barbarians to be dropped in. Any little thing that can cause a problem and make a 1 flank have to be reinforced in emergency, and if they make a mistake on reinforcing it, then they have to turn back, and it can cost them time, it can cost them triples. But guys, it is about time to get into this HTM versus Milliceme MG, the primarily North American roster versus the primarily French roster. We'll go to head to head here, and one of these teams is walking away. So me and we're gonna pass off here, and we'll see Carbon and Woody take it away.
Thank you so much, Eric. Here we go, Woody, the final match here today. Match number 6. One of these teams is gonna be going home. Absolutely, this is it. It comes down to the line for these teams. Their tournament life is on the line throughout the rest of this lower bracket, Woody.
Well, I see the flames of combat flickering in your distance. The shadow of this next showdown is gonna loom deep across the battlefield. Elimination is on the line for HTM Esports and Milliceme MG. Victory in this next round will carry them on to tomorrow. But there is no room for mistakes. With so many perfect wars across all these teams so far today, I would certainly expect nothing short of 15 stars to give them a confident boost onward. And even that might not be enough. With time being the decisive tie-breaking factor in wars already today, we both know that these teams are going to do everything they can to keep those seconds shaved off as best as possible. Hopping into the first attack, we're already 35 seconds in as Mohamed Marawi has cleaned up almost half of the base already. And is charging into the core with that king knocking apart this town hall. No, actually he's going to overgrowth it.
Yeah, with that overgrowth
serangan
continuing with the
berlangsung
super minions,
hampir
they
seminit
did
sekarang
end
ni.
up coming out of a siege
Satu
barracks from that
respawn.
far left side. As he is passing the town hall, we are just hitting the 60-second
Untuk
mark
digunakan
in this
freeze
attack
King
here.
defensif dan juga Warden Statue.
Champion's ability has already
Pada
been
champion
forced
dapatkan
right through
King defensif sekarang ni.
down. Two freezes,
Seminit
Rage needs to have
10
this
saat telah pun
overgrowth
berlalu sekarang ni.
disappear
Race spell akan terus
perfectly.
digunakan.
Back to the core.
Biarkan Royal Champion mati. Freeze Town Hall sekarang ini.
Perfectly positioned to get all the root riders
Digunakan
and
terus
heroes
Queen
back
ability.
into
Freeze
action
lagi Town
again.
Hall.
Double the freezy pop power,
Seminit
and this
20
summer is on blast. We
8
are
saat
cooling
saya rasa.
things off, and with a minute
29 saat
and 30
untuk
seconds,
Marawi.
Mohamed
Sedikit
Marawi
lewat
has
di situ.
done the deed.
Tidak
3
cukup
stars
pantas
in
untuk beliau, saya rasa.
halftime total to start off for HTM Esports.
Nice try daripada Muhammad Marawi.
29 though. Is that going to be quick enough for the rest of the match? Because we've been seeing a lot of these matches, attacks coming about minute 24, minute 23.
Assalamualaikum, selamat datang.
Some have been around a minute even 12. So this one might be on the slower side of things at this stage of the competition.
Next attacker is going to be Tryhard from Milsim MG. We saw him get a 3-star earlier today, and will be seeking to keep that composure for his next attack. 129 is the time to beat if he wants to give Milsim MG a 3-star and tiebreaker lead out of this first round of hits. It's going to be Valkyries into Root Riders, that old reliable Town Hall 16 meta army. Charging in first with the King and Queen in the bottom left section of the base. A little bit of funneling will get them hopped over the wall thanks to a jump spell. Might have been surprised Teslas, or he might have even been predicting them. It's great value for the King and Queen either way to be able to smash through those surprising defenses and make sure the funneling is going to remain perfect for these Root Riders later on.
Terus gunakan Warden ability sekarang ni untuk selamatkan Root Rider.
CC troops.
Dia try hard cuba dapatkan 3 bintang dengan masih lebih pantas.
Meanwhile, King, Queen,
Daripada
and the World
Marawi.
Champion are doing excellent work along the outer edges of the base to keep that pressure going strong. Overgrowth goes down and it does not catch the Town Hall, so Tryhard is not
Menggunakan
worried
race spell untuk
about
Royal
those
Champion.
2 stars early on. It's going to be claimed by the Root Riders. It's going to be all
Root
about
Rider dapatkan
wrapping
Town Hall
around,
sekarang ini.
the base afterwards and cleaning up toward the King in the top right compartment at the end there, Carmen.
Ada satu lagi race spell untuk digunakan dengan satu free spell.
Poison, but pushing right on through, has a Queen ability and a freeze now into the core as he does activate and find the
Freeze,
tornado trap.
Kushi Cannon.
He's past the 60
Queen
second
jumpa
mark,
tornado
popping
trap.
the Queen ability as she's
Royal
gonna be able to
Champion
get
ability terus
through
digunakan
the
sebentar
wall
tadi.
here, the
Dah
ricochet
seminit
cannon, and getting
27
some
saat,
fantastic
17 saat
timing
sebenarnya.
here. And they
Seminit
will
17
have
saat
the lead
untuk
here for the
try hard.
first
Mantap sekali.
set of attacks. Of course, with those Root Riders, those Valkyries just crushing right on through at Town Hall 16. 1 minute and 17 seconds for Tryhard. What a great time to start this match.
Yeah, super fast attack and a 12-second lead now over HTM Esports. And Milsim Energy showing that they are not going to put the brakes at all on this next war. Nick is going to be coming in next. We saw him leading off in previous wars, but he is going to be coming in as the number 2 striker now for HTM, trying to get that time even further down so that they can remain competitive against Milsim MG. He's had some pretty fast attacks so far. Let's see if he can keep it up with these 11 dragons. He does not bow to the pressure of the Root Riders as he will stay sky high with another giant arrow blasting through the base and getting some great funneling work done, catching one of those air sweepers in the interior once again. He has got great aim with that. Give this man an archery competition and he will get it right in the bullseye.
Yeah, with that blimp flying all the way to the Town Hall, we're going to have Sneaky Ops and a Lava Hound, and no, it's going to be clone up balloons as they're looking to help clear the core. Town Hall at least was down, but he did also destroy that poison spell tower, so that will not be coming back as the dragons are moving around this space with a Royal Champion still yet to be deployed.
Dragons are fanned out just a little bit here. Looks like Nick will keep most of them along the top side while the heroes are doing most of the work on kind of the bottom center there.
Aku je dah penat nak casting lah. Sorry guys kalau aku banyak senyap je ni. Biasa tengah malam kan, tak pelagat dah. Jadi minit sekarang ni seminit 10 saat telah pun berlalu. Free spell untuk King defensif.
And it's not a question of if but when
Seminit
it's the 3-star
20 saat untuk beliau.
and just over 20
22
seconds in,
saat,
the
not
triple
bad.
is claimed. HTM Esports are going to improve their time with Nick's attack, drawing closer but not yet quicker than Milliseam MG.
Bringing their attack time down by those 4 seconds here, which is critical, and they are just hoping to slow down MMG. Can they slow down Milliseam? That is going to be the question, as the base builder of Ghost has an attack to do later, but it looks like Agent 33 is going to be defending for HTM Esports next, as Temper is going to be looking to push right on through for Milliseam MG. And Temper, he's actually been competing in those challenges in game, the Holland Challenge, and he's been at the top of several of those, if you guys have checked those leaderboards. And he's going to look to bring a very quick triple here with some E-Dragons.
Luncai 30 follow.
Let's see what he can do with 5.
Kita ada timpa sekarang ni untuk MMG. E-Drag akan guna beliau. So E-Drag sekarang ni Ray spell untuk E-Drag. Terus gunakan water ability.
When you know every single second counts, just finding another way to
Respel
grab another building
untuk
here,
belon.
knock apart another defense there.
Tidak ada
and
close
keep
spell
your
digunakan
troops
oleh beliau.
perfectly going from
Free
one
spell
to
scatter
the
shot,
next
Ray spell untuk
without
E-Drag,
any
free
gaps
spell
in
multi
between.
inferno.
Teamper
E-Drag
is the
dapat
man for the
Royal
job.
Champion
The
defensif,
time is
free
a
spell
factor.
Queen defensif sekarang ini.
And starting off with a triple attack now, Electro Dragons along the top and core
King
of
di
the base.
kawasan
Another
atas
Electro
dengan
Dragon
ability
army
dapat
at the
eagle dengan
bottom
mudah.
side.
Wih, bawah seminit ke ni?
Stabbing his sword
Wait a
through the
minute.
top.
2 free spell tinggal. Royal Champion dapatkan ni. 10 saat lagi. Dan timpa dapat rata di bawah seminit. Wow. 51 saat untuk timpa. Wow. Adakah ini paling pantas dalam dunia e-sport?
Bringing their attack duration completely down, which means that now HTM are going to have to completely change
51 saat untuk timpa dengan menggunakan E-Drag.
Not only seen here this weekend,
Wow.
today, but definitely even over last month as well. Temper setting an insane 51-second triple.
I think that's
Wow.
a record for today so far. Carbon, I have had a lot of fun watching your channel. I know that you know the overall record for 3-starring a Town Hall 16 base. But 51 seconds, like, it just boggles the mind how you can come up with an attack in so few minutes that is so reliable at tearing down every building in under a minute.
Yeah, it's insane what they can do, but Ghost is going to look to try to do exactly that. At one point, if they can't bring that time down, they're going to have to look to hopefully get a defense, as we do have that Siege Barracks look to come from the bottom side out, clear that. As the King ability has been forced, the Queen can even take that jump to move in.
Growth sekarang ni, overgrowth di kawasan kiri.
Overgrowth is down, shutting off some of the defenses that sit there behind the Town Hall. HTM Esports are just suffering on time, though, against a squad that just does not give even a second's notice. Multi-target Inferno getting busted up on the top side as Valks and Root Riders continue their destruction wave through the space. But, I mean, even as powerful as this attack is, he's a minute and 10
Minit
in and there's still
15 saat telah pun berlalu sekarang ni. Royal Champion ability terus. Free spell Martyrs Tower. 9 saat. Dan Ghost dapat 3 bintang di bawah seminit 30.
They will have to rely on the defense, hoping to get at least a 99%.
Yep, dapat di bawah 1 minit 30 saat. Mantap sekali.
Not a triple, and look at the time differential right now with the attacks that come in at a minute 4 for Milliseam and then a minute 26 for HTM. They are severely in the backseat here. They need to be able to get the defense, or they have to answer with under 60-second triples for the remaining set of their attacks.
It is an almost incomprehensible metagame to stare at a 3-star attack that uses less than half of the available time and to say, you know what, I think that one came up a little bit short. It should have been a little bit quicker. If they want to catch up, he needs to do more in less time. the bar to compete in Clash of Clans esports is just being set so incredibly high. I don't know how they do it, and yet it seems that time and time again, experience, in-game knowledge, just the vast time that they've spent so far in figuring out every single way that they can shave another few seconds off here and there to deconstruct a base in their mind. It's like they're doing advanced calculus.
Kingsman untuk MMG sekarang ni.
Kingsman charging in once again with root
Masuk di kawasan kanan.
a favorite not just for him but also for this entire competition overall. And
Whisper lepaskan. Mari bin terus.
King's taking a beating in that first compartment, unfortunately for him. But Kingsman's overgrowth is going to shut down some more buildings and give him another chance to do the wraparound.
Yeah, with the Root Riders continuing into the core, the Town Hall has been hit by the overgrowth as the Siege Barracks going straight to the bottom side. Pekka's moving through more Super Barbarians to help pick the outside buildings off as he's got 3 Super Barbs left, 3 freezes, and a Rage as he's looking to have that overgrowth slowly disappear. And there you go. Now he can go straight to the core towards the Town Hall. Poison did get launched, so he goes with a freeze. Hopefully he can continue to stay alive through the Town Hall Poison, but he is losing a lot here, Woody. Uh-oh.
He has lost a ton, but
Adakah Kingsman gagal di sini? Free space scatter shot. Royal JP masih lagi hidup. P masih lagi hidup. RC dapat scatter shot. Super minion. Cuba dapatkan catcher cannon sekarang ni.
I think Queen with the healers and Unicorn is going to be able to finish the base off, but man, that is a lot of time that I think Kingsman would have really preferred. He didn't have to spend going through a wall. Grand Warden is burnt up. Super Minion is down, and the Queen is stuck on a wall. She's going to stay
Masa
topped out
sedikit
thanks to the healers.
banyak
This is
untuk
definitely the slowest attack of the war so
Kingsman.
far. Team MG with a 1 and 4 second average is definitely going to see that time increase quite a bit. HTM Esports have finally found a defensive opportunity here to try to get back in this war.
Let's see, it goes from a minute 4 to a minute and 20. Wow, that really now is bringing the match back. It is going to be a close one. A minute 54 now from Kingsman, unfortunately.
Hampir 2
He's
minit.
going to basically take what Temper did and almost kind of cancel it out. So really, HTM is back in this match in terms of time.
Next attack is
Di HTM masih ada peluang sebenarnya.
Torres, 23 for HTM Esports, hoping to improve upon the 2-star 99% that we saw from him earlier. You can't let those multi-infernos stand up at the end. 3 stars required from this next strike, and he is going to be in full focus mode. Standard complement of equipment for these heroes. 6 lightning spells that he's brought to zap in some defenses. Drops a Skelly spell as well over this Tesla trap in the right corner to help out the Queen a little bit here. Spirit Fox and the Royal Champion are also going to get some good work done as the King joins in the fray, knocking apart some ice golems and carving those abominable snowmen up. The main force of this army is going to be coming in from the bottom side now, as this unusual attack style is going to see an early Eternal Tone to protect just a few balloons, and that Battle Blimp making its way into the core. The second star is claimed, but we know Rigo is sure that he has to get all 3 if he wants the win here.
Yeah, with these balloons sneaking their
Tengok
way
player main tenang je. Kalau aku dah
Town
gelap dah.
clean up, moving through this is looking
Nah, sangat ni tahun 16 sebenarnya.
crushed. What a Lalo hit here coming in from Riga Torres. The lightning spells to help not only establish the funnel, but also to move through. I really love how Riga Torres broke this
Seminit.
space down and
Lewat
used
sikit
the
dia punya
design of the
clean out
base
ni.
to his advantage. Because of all the dead zone around the town hall, it could create a perfect path for these balloons to fly around to move through this space. And this is really going to lower the time here for HTM.
20 saat.
Fantastic
Not bad.
job making this match even closer. So that takes the 1 minute and 26 second average duration. It brings it down to a minute 24. Now they're only 4 seconds away from a tie here.
Rigo Torres proving his value with the quickest attack so far from this HTM Esports lineup. A 1 minute and 20 second duration. still an appreciable advantage for Millicene MG, sitting at 120 average across the 3 that they've done so far. They could even pick up the pace a little bit, and still they would have plenty of room. Nachoa, the next attacker now. Take it away, Carbon.
Yeah, with the Root Riders again, another overgrowth.
Nachoa dengan Elok launcher, seriously.
Typically you want to take out that Eagle Artillery as
Aku ni
quick
confirm
as
tekan
possible.
spare kat luar dah.
It up in a hit here.
Ngeri bah sampai ke luar
Start with the
spare-nya.
Baby Dragon and Root Riders to go from the top side of the space. Grand Warden is also placed, couple of barbs to be dropped to help set that final to push him away up to the top side, while the King is going to jump into the multi, and okay, the Eagle's going to be left for the end while the Siege Barracks coming to the left. Just always have to be careful about those Eagle Artillery shots doing so much damage.
Spell Tower popping off
King.
on top, and that's going to be a lot of splash damage that would have been targeting the Root Riders had the Eternal Tome not protected them all from it. Multi-Infernos are getting frozen and shut down, as the Eagle is also going to be included in that Overgrowth spell on the backside, finishing its splash damage off. Nacho has got an answer for everything, so it seems, as troops are going to now spread out and wrap around the outer top left and bottom right sides before they get a chance to engage the Town Hall. A multi-archer tower did stay out of the Overgrowth spell there, and that's going to cause most of those troops to kind of coalesce around that edge. A Tesla's going to drag a few more troops toward the back side of the base as they now try to collapse back in toward the Town Hall, wanting to finish off as quickly as they can. Phoenix pops the King back up for a minute, but he will go down after all. And it's going to be a little bit of confusion in the core, as the Root Riders are not going to get to go to the Town Hall early on. They're going to finish it off just at the very end here for a minute and about 25-second attack here from Nachoa. Quite quick. 124 is the final duration here shown, and that will slightly increase the average time for Millicene MG up to 121. Just a 3-second lead over HTM Esports.
Wow, it's getting closer and closer every single attack here, as now it's time for Agent 33 to bring everything out and send it all in. You can take all the risks, because you know you have to lower the time, and you also have to be trying to get a triple. Here we go. The 5th and final attack for HTM goes straight in with the giant arrow. Does not hit that multi. Oh, wait, no. Okay, he does lightning and take it down. I was going to say, I thought the arrow was just off a little bit.
Agent 33, 27 rocket loon dan 23 minion.
We've got the Queen charging in with this Grand Warden, and then 27 rockaloons, so we can try to be as quick as possible.
Variability.
Town Hall burning up, but that is going to be an Eternal Tome really just for the heroes this time
Dapat
around.
quick defensif. Roket lu kawasan bawah, kawasan kiri.
With rocket loons now,
Damn.
even faster than standard loons. They are doing everything they can to get this base demolished in record time. HTM has got to
Bina
get
keluar
this
daripada
thing
sisi
finished
barat.
off lickety-split. With one
Queen
freeze
mati,
left, ready to drop
Queen tak masuk
on
dalam.
that scatter shot. He's going to drop the final wave of rocket loons to finish
Queen
it
akan
off.
diserang oleh Headhunter.
A
Queen
multi-target
dapat
front
Headhunter.
stop is gonna be the
Wow.
last key defense to
AC
finish
ability.
off, as the minions and super minions are going to collapse on the
minion.
top side. Unfortunate that Archer Queen's going to get shut down by the Ice
Minute.
Skull, but this is going to be maybe the
15
fastest
saat.
attack yet from HTM Esports. Agent
9
33 has closed it
17
out
saat,
with a
18 saat
bang.
untuk Agent 33.
About a minute 25, minute 26, though. It's not going to lower the time. So then Millicene is going to be about need to get about under. Oh, it did. Okay, never mind. A minute 23 lowered by a second, so a 2-second differential. Oh, it ended up being a minute 18. Okay, I was looking at something completely different. Never mind there. As Agent delivering. So now Millicene MG. You
Bahaya
have
untuk
to be just around a minute
MMG.
20, and you could still
Kalau lewat
win
sikit je
this.
bye-bye.
And if
Jadi
you're not
adakah MMG akan menang, guys?
30, even with
Agak-agak
one attack
MMG
that
akan
was
menang ke tak?
51 seconds by
Ataupun
Temper,
terciduk
yes.
di hujung-hujung.
Temper came in with a 51-second attack in this match, which used
Macam ni, guys?
the dragons. You missed it. definitely have to go back and check that out because that was an absolutely insane fast attack. We had a slow
Macam mana, guys?
attack that came in from Kingsman at about a minute 53, which is
Tak dah,
brought this
sebab
match
beza 12
closer,
saat.
and it comes down
Eh, 2 saat beza.
attacker, Hawk, good luck.
Average setted duration 2 saat tu.
So far, and if my math is correct, it looks like Hawk will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to get the triple in this next hit. If he does it in that time, he will guarantee victory. 91 seconds would actually be an exact tie with HTM Esports, and anything slower than that, they'd be behind on time.
2 saat. Ya.
3 out of the 4
Macam-macam boleh jadi 2 saat tu.
Team MG have been quicker than 1 minute and 31 seconds. So it's all up to Hawk to keep that time coming in clean against Ghost, the last defense for HTM Esports, needing either a more than 91 second hold off or to prevent the triple if they want to win against Millicene MG and stay alive in the lower bracket, Carbon.
Seminit 30 saat kalah.
This is indeed the lower bracket. You lose, you are eliminated from the competition. As here we go, and he, like you said, Woody, have to hit a 90-second mark going in straight away with that Queen ability. Didn't hit any of the sweeper, so that one sweeper that is over by the town hall is pushing in this direction towards the dragons. Let's see if that's going to play a role in this attack to slow it down.
Yeah, even if it doesn't prevent the triple, if it just slows the attack down by enough, that could be a decisive finish for this base. Clone in the core is going to let those super minions take out that air sweeper as the dragons are going to continue to stay fanned out. They've got that rage gem from the Grand Ward and are pushing through as fast as they can.
Sekarang ni Hawk.
Hall stands,
Uish.
Carbon.
Terlepas
The
Town
super
Hall.
minions got picked off, and that's remaining, doing a lot of
Yang
damage.
dijangkakan
Wooden's not
mungkin
even
jadi
going for it
masalah.
just yet, 'cause it's following the
Satu lagi
target
free
of the
spell.
dragon. Wooden
Royal
dies.
Champion boleh
The
lepaskan.
dragon dies.
Royal Champion boleh kawasan bawah sekarang ni.
Does have the RC
King
ability,
mati.
has the freeze, the King's ability's already been pushed. He knows he has to be under the minute 30-second triple.
Tornado trap goes off at the worst possible time as well. He's going to drop his last freeze, but not to save the dragons in the core. He's got no more spells to commit. Hawk knows he's only got 15 seconds left to finish off this base, and it does not look like it is happening.
Nampaknya Hawk terciduk.
HTM Esports are on the defense. The last few buildings stand.
Oh my! Look at that! The Royal Champion even goes down, and it's not even gonna be a 3-star here, and it's a defense for the base builder Ghost for HTM Esports. And
Ini sebab masa dah tak dapat
means
star,
HTM
ya.
Esports are advancing in the lower bracket, and Millicene MG have come to the end of the road,
GG.
and they will be eliminated from this monthly's finals. Oh man, what a great effort there from Millicene. Even Temper coming in with a 51-second attack, tripling with E-Dragons, and they still falling short. Who would have thought after the end of today that we are sending home early attacks and Millicene MG? Absolutely insane, crazy stuff here. And that's one thing you don't know is anything can happen. Predictions, it could be any team.
Naga lari
saying
mereng.
You just have one off match.
GG.
It basically could be the end of the road. So great effort there from Millicene MG, but congrats to HTM keeping their hopes alive in the lower bracket, where they will be competing tomorrow to try to advance through the lower bracket and eventually make it to the grand finals to try to get, well, either a silver ticket if you come in second, but really they want that golden ticket.
Well, congrats also to you, Carbon, for making a perfect prediction.
Alright guys, jadi itulah dia untuk hari ni. Kita jumpa lagi malam esok insyaAllah untuk final day. Okay, jadi thank you for watching guys. Yang mana belum follow, tekan butang follow. Kita jumpa lagi. Bye bye. Tengah malam ni saya boleh barat ya. Follow dulu guys, follow dulu guys. Esok kita ada lagi.
time all the way throughout, thanks to Teeper's 51-second attack, one of the quickest that we've ever seen, and only 4 seconds short of setting a world record performance here on the main stage. Millicene MG have once again done a great job, but just yet not going to be enough against HTM, which will keep their heads held high. They survive in the lower bracket and will get another chance to compete tomorrow, seeking to replicate that heroic run from the lower bracket that we saw from Synchronic last month, earning them a golden ticket and a spot in the Clash of Clans World Championship this year. Millicene MG will get another chance next month, as will every other team competing in the open qualifiers. Let's take one more look at the stat line again as we see how HTM managed another victory here over Millicene MG.
The crazy stat here that is just popping out on the page is temper. 51 seconds. What an insane hit, tripling with the E-Dragons, and it's a perfect war for HTM. And again, having one small mistake, one fail costing you the match. Even if it did triple there for Hawk in the end, it would have been slow. As the MVP of this match, of course, Temper coming in, even though they don't win, but he deserves it with that 51-second triple with those E-Dragons. Insane stuff, but unfortunately, he would rather win the war than win MVP. And because that means now, unfortunately, their run has come to an end in the lower bracket. But like you mentioned, you can always try next month. You're just gonna have to play through the open qualifiers in stage 1. Make your way back. It's tough. It is not easy to make it to this mark, but let's go ahead and welcome back Itsu and Eric here to the desk. What a match we had. Take us through your thoughts there, Itsu.
I mean, after the attack of Temper, it felt like, okay, this match is just done. But then somehow HGM came back with a crazy defense, and well, that was pretty much the story. I feel like those were the crazy peaks of like Temper with his incredible attack, and well, then the defense in the end not making or giving him the chance of actually carrying his team. But this means HGM making it to the next round, playing then versus the world champion of last year in the lower bracket, which should be in a really exciting match as well, Eric.
Yeah, and that was insane when Temper did right there. That was the second fastest attack ever tripling in Clash of Clans esports. The fastest is from a Darkstar who plays for VM Legacy, who's still alive in the upper bracket. So our world record holder sitting up there nice and safe and getting ready for his match for tomorrow. But yeah, it sucks to have that fast of an attack there and then still end up taking the loss, and it's just the way that plays out sometimes. You have to play as a team, you have to lose as a team, and I'm sure we'll see them playing in another qualifier later in the year. So I'm not too concerned about them, but it's just a unfortunate way to go down right there.
Well, whether you're on the caster desk or watching from the studio audience or at home, we know that we love predictions. Let's go ahead and put those back up on the screen one more time and see how they panned out today. It was a rough run for the casters. We had a lot of ideas about what was going to happen here, but very few correct ones. I did the worst today with only one correct prediction out of the 6 matches. But overall, even the best of us, Itsu and Eric, got 3 out of 6 correct today. It was a lot of upsets across the board. But if you were correct, if you at home were over at the Clash of Clans esports prediction page registering your guesses, you had an even better chance than those of us up here at getting some gems and some ore to upgrade your equipment, some awesome materials to use for the construction of your own bases. Cartman, you were the only one on that last round to make a correct prediction. So lead us through the bracket now and maybe give us a little bit of an insight of what's going to happen tomorrow.
Well, I will tell you my predictions tomorrow for the matches, so make sure you tune in then, because I can't spoil them now, you know? I gotta leave you in some suspense because of how good my predictions are. So I mean, absolutely right. I'm just too good here. But we're taking a look at the upper semis, which is going to be VM Legacy taking on Dizzy Esports, and the winner of that is guaranteed a silver ticket in the grand finals. And down in the lower bracket, Savage Elite, also known as Clash Champs from